Welcome back to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Metro PCS. Before the season began, Harrison Barnes turned down a 4-year, $64 million contract, a restricted free agent this summertime. And when you compare his numbers this year versus last year, it's our Built for Business presented by Comcast Business. The numbers are not that far off. His scoring numbers are actually up. The shooting numbers are down. The three-point shooting numbers are down a little bit. But when you look at it over a larger sample size, his last 9 games, he is 2 for his last 20, Saintly, and he is really struggling. And when he plays with that first unit, Stephen Clay, he's getting wide open shots, and right now, he can't make a shot.
Well, he's been in a slump. There isn't any doubt about it. And what do you do when you're in a slump? Well, you got to go to work. So you meet with the coaches and you watch some videos, see if there's anything that you're doing technically wrong. And then you go to work with extra time on the floor with shooting. And then you talk to the head coach, and then you talk about plays that they're going to run. You just saw him posted up there. And if he's worried about this contract, he can sit down with Bob Myers. He can sit down with his agent so they can get him to relax. So it's a collaborative effort to help him get to back where he was. And I'm confident, because this is a terrific young guy. He might be pressing a little bit. I don't know that. But this guy here, rest assured, is a very key piece to this Warrior basketball team as they go forward toward the playoffs. Pop, we talk a lot about his versatility on defense, the ability to play the 3, Carmelo tonight, and then he's going to go over here and play the 4 spot when they go to the small lineup. So we saw when he had that sprained ankle, they weren't quite right. So I'm hoping for him that he gets it going to the way that we expect him to play. And especially with the injury to Andre Iguodala. I mean, there's going to be an opening there. You know every night they're going to play Steph, Clay, and Dre. And if they bring Sean Livingston on, there's your 4th, and the choice has to be, do you play Bogut and go big, or do you play HB and go small? And he's just simply got to play a little better. And Iguodala's going to be out. Good to see him out warming up a little bit, so that's one good sign. And our inside the paint is James Michael McAdoo. The other night really played well. Brought to you by Bay Area Mini. He had a solid overall game. Now, he's a guy who can play a little that undersized 4, so if HB is struggling, this could be an opportunity for McAdoo, who played beautifully the other night, and he hadn't played in a long, long time. So right now, he's just glad to get on the floor and get some playing time.
Felt good. Felt great just to finally be out there and be able to contribute like I know I'm capable of. I appreciate, my teammates finding me, and obviously the coaching staff having faith to put me out there, especially in a tougher game. We kind of been at home for a while. The season's kind of weighing on us. It's a long schedule that we have, and we're really getting to the thick of things here towards the end. So I was just excited to go out there and be able to just bring some energy.
How do you view your role? I mean, when you go into the court, what is it that you try to do each time you're out there?
I just try to make winning plays, whether that be just going out there and rebounding, obviously, especially on the defensive end, especially when I'm out there, I really try to make an impact there, whether it be, being able to switch onto a smaller guard and make a play. And, at the end of the day, on the offensive end, just try to set screens, get guys open, roll to the rim hard. I feel like that's something I'm really good at, and really just, let the game come to me and not really try to do something I know I'm not capable of doing.
I think he changed the game late in the first half against the Pelicans on Monday. Andrew Bogut did not play late in the game because the Pelicans went small and they were switching everything. They inserted James Michael McAdoo. The Warriors could switch everything. He played terrifically well in the second quarter throughout the second half, Saint.
Well, you touched on it, as did he, talking about the defensive versatility that he brings. He can switch onto the smaller people. The other thing he must do is rebound, and we know he's a superb athlete. You've got to run the floor and get out in transition. The area that he needs to grow in is shot making. And he's worked very hard with Ron Adams, a great assistant coach, and they've been trying to get that consistent 15-foot elbow shot. And if he can make that shot as time goes on here as a Warrior, he'll earn more time.
And the Warriors have guys coming off the bench that can score. Leandro Barbosa, Maurice Spates can certainly score, so you don't necessarily need his offense. And this is leading to the matchup on Saturday night. To me, the big key, San Antonio's bench is just playing so well with Manu Ginobili back. They signed Kevin Martin. They got the veteran Andre Miller. They moved the ball. As we look ahead to Saturday in the game of the year in the NBA, the Warrior bench needs to continue to play well to at least neutralize the game when the San Antonio bench comes in the second quarter.
Could not agree with you more. That outfit down there in San Antonio's just meshing beautifully. And as you said, the bench is going to be a big concern in that game. I think paint play is going to be a big concern. They're very deep and very experienced at the big positions, 4 and 5. Warriors have a distinct advantage when you get into the pace game and when you get into the shooting game. Warriors are a much better shooting team than San Antonio, but boy, we're looking forward to that game. It's going to be a great one.
It's going to be the game of the year in the NBA. It's on March the 19th. Unfortunately, it's up against something called the NCAA tournament. What's going to do better ratings? I think the Warriors and the Spurs are going to outrate the NCAA. But St. Lee, tomorrow's your day. The tournament starts.
Ooh.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Love it.
You got to love this. So we're going to have you pick your Final Four. You got all your brackets ready?
Yeah, but don't take my picks. I'm not great at this.
I'm not going to take yours. Maybe I'll take Klay Thompson's, because Monty's going to sit down with Klay and go through his bracket as well. Do you realize he's the only Warrior player to attend college that did not play in the NCAA tournament at Washington State? He did win the Great Alaska Shootout. Do you know? Actually, it was in Anchorage, St. Lee. Bad line.
PG&E is committed to...
And the NBC Sports Live Extra app. And the NCAA tournament is on. You may want to watch that and watch the Warriors on your tablet or your mobile. Here's where the Warriors went to school. I think you know that Steph was a darling at Davidson, Klay at Washington State. You got Harrison Barnes and James Michael McAdoo or Carolina Tar Heels. Draymond went to the Final Four at Michigan State. Andrew Bogut at Utah. Andre Iguodala, part of the Bear Down movement with the Arizona Wildcats. Festivus, Maurice Spates won an NCAA title. Ian Clark and Belmont actually beat Duke, and Kevon Looney one and done at UCLA. And Klay Thompson on the board. Junior year at Washington State. Look at him, St. Lee's just a baby. Averaged 21.6 a game as a junior. Career 17.9. Set a school record by making 242 three-pointers. He loves this time of the year, so he's going to get out his bracket, St. Lee, and go through it all with Monty Poole.
Guy here played at Washington State. We've got 7 Pac-12 teams in the tournament. Washington State's not one of them. But that doesn't mean Klay's not aware of some of the stuff that's going on. So, Klay, if you could just take me through what you think is going to happen, starting with the South here.
The teams that will reach the Elite Eight in the South will be Kansas versus Miami. I think Miami's an explosively athletic team, and Kansas has just proven to be one of the best all year. I don't see anyone really coming. I mean, Cal might give them a game, maybe Maryland. Connecticut's always tough out in the tourney, but I don't really see anyone messing with them. They're too deep, too talented. And then for my team in the West, you know, I want to see Oregon do well. So I'm going to put faith in them. I think they'll make the Elite Eight, and I think they will play. I got to go with Oklahoma because my boy Buddy Hield, Bahamian, plays for Oklahoma. He's one of the best scorers in the game and going to be a great NBA player. Then we go over to the East. Who's hot right now? North Carolina's solid, but I'm not going to put my faith in a team that fostered Harrison Barnes and James McAdoo. So I'm going to go with, I think they'll be upset by Kentucky, or I'm going to say Indiana. I think Indiana will make it to the Elite Eight there. They play a tough brand of ball. I mean, Yogi Ferrell has been there 4 years and really tough competitor, one of those, you know, short point guards, but really he's a bulldog, gets after it. This is a tough one for me, but I'm going to hold with Indiana versus Xavier in the Elite Eight on that side of the East. Then for the Midwest bracket, I'm going to go with my old coach and Tony Bennett. I think this is his year to do big things. I think we'll see Tony in the Elite Eight, and I think they will be playing, believe it or not, I think they will be playing Utah. I think Utah will upset Michigan State.
Whoa. Wait till Draymond gets wind of that one.
I know. I think they'll get them. Even though Michigan State's a tough out in the tourney, just the way they play, they got to play with a lot of heart. But I'm going to say it's going to be Virginia versus Utah in the Midwest Elite Eight bracket.
Very nice. Very nice. You want to go Final Four?
Not yet. Next show, I got you. Final Four. Actually, I can go Final Four. I'm going to go Kansas in the finals for the South. They're going to make it from the South, represent the South. Oklahoma is going to beat Oregon in the West. It's going to be a Big 12 matchup, West versus South. Indiana in the East. You can't have all high seeds in the NCAA tournament. That never works out. So I think that's going to be my one seed, at the high seed that's in the East. And then for the Midwest region, I'm going to go Virginia. So it goes Kansas, Oklahoma, Indiana, Virginia, Final Four. I think Oklahoma is going to beat Kansas. Then I think they're going to be playing Virginia for the national championship. And I think Oklahoma is going to take it. I think my boy Buddy Hield is going to end his career as the greatest Bahamian college basketball player ever, overtaking Michael Thompson. So
Thanks, Clay. Appreciate it.
no problem.
Very nicely done. All right. I think Monty mentioned Clay didn't make the NCAA tournament.
Hey.
He mentioned that right away. Here's Clay. He went to Wazoo, didn't make the tournament. Steph made the Sweet 16 as a sophomore. Remember that. Harrison Barnes likewise. Draymond went to the NCAA championship game. Andrew Bogut, Sweet 16. Iguodala, final in the regional. Festus in the third round. Mo Spates won it all at Florida. Likewise for Brandon Rush. At Kansas, James Michael McAdoo, Sweet 16. Ian Clark and Belmont beat the Dukies, and Kevon Looney one and done at UCLA. So Saintly's got his big board out. I'm expecting the penmanship of Barack Obama here as we run the break on Warriors pregame live. I want to see this penmanship in these little boxes. And I'm not touching this board. I saw Charles Barkley on Sunday. This thing is yours, Saintly. So where are you going? Where's your Final Four? How are we getting there?
I got to thank all of our guys doing this beautiful job, but I'm going right to the semis.
That's it?
Let's get to work. I do this a little different. I'm pulling for coaches that I know around the country.
I know you do.
So I love Huggy Bear. He's one tough sucker, and I think he's going to come out of the East. Unconventional, full court pressure, physical play. Here's my favorite coach in college basketball, Tom Izzo. Just can't say enough good about him. And I love the way his team is playing. Valentine is a big-time player. Reminds me some of Draymond. A lot, really. Kansas, Bill Self, terrific coach, won 12 Big 12 titles in a row. He's had a ton of NBA players. I'm looking for them to beat Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's having Lon Kruger's the coach there. They've got that healed young player at the two guard who's had a beautiful year.
Good matchup here.
This matchup here, I think, is just beautiful.
Izzo against Self for the national title.
I'm having a hard time there.
Sparty! Come on,
I'm
Draymond.
going with Sparty.
You got to go Draymond.
Draymond's going to like my pick.
Mama Draymond will get all over us.
Yeah,
if we
she
don't
would,
pick
too.
Michigan. So you're pitching Michigan State to win the NCAA championship. And
I love these 2 weeks.
Your penmanship was outstanding.
Wasn't it beautiful?
How much
Yo,
fun are we
lefty.
going to have tomorrow at your 9 to 9 party?
Oh, my gosh.
St. Patrick's Day, maybe a green beer or
Get
two
ready.
or three. And we
I've
get to
got
watch,
some attire to wear.
We get to watch ball.
I'm ready.
We're going to be
watching
touching
ball from 9 to 9.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m. St. Leonard.
Beautiful stuff.
Basketball tomorrow. So
Right out there in
I
Alamo.
agree with you. Very nicely done. And you are no Charles Barkley, I must say. All right, coming up on Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Metro PCS. We are going to head back out to Oracle Arena. We'll check in with Bob and Jim. Of course, Carmelo Anthony won the NCAA championship with a school that wears orange, St. Louis. He was one and done. Kristaps Porzingis did not play in the NCAA tournament. He played in pro basketball last year as a 19-year-old in Spain. We'll get our first look at him in Oracle. I want to see he can make that shot, but I want to see if he can step it out and make the Curry tunnel shot. That's our challenge.
Warriors Pregame Live is presented by...
They play to win. Chapter 32 tonight, trying to get to 32 and make it to 32 in a row here at home and 50 in a row dating back to last year. Here's the starting lineup for the 28-40 New York Knicks of interim head coach Kurt Rambis, Jose Calderon, Sasa Vucevic, the former L.A. Laker champion. That's a big front line. Carmelo Anthony is 6'8". Kristaps Porzingis is 7'3", and Robin Lopez is 7 feet tall. On January the 20th, this team was 22-22. They had designs about breaking through after last year's worst franchise record of 17-65, Saint, but they have lost 18 of their last 24. The triangle is not working. They fired Derek Fisher. Rambis is the interim head coach, and they're having yet again a miserable year. What happened to this team? When we saw them in late January at the Garden, they were making a push for the postseason, Saint.
You know, the whole dam broke, and they were defending. They were sharing the basketball. And then they got in a rut where they were going isolation game. Now, Robin Lopez came over from Portland, and he's doing a nice job at the center position. But they've got really older guards in Calderon and Vucevic, and neither one of them are very quick or good defenders. They can make a shot. They're good team guys. Superior advantage for the Warriors there. And when you look at this team, they really lack depth. And they've got to really add a lot of pieces. They're going to have some cap room in the offseason. And it's a long climb up for the Knicks.
They added one big piece in the offseason with a number 4 overall pick. He is 7'3" and long. Kristaps Porzingis, and when we saw him in January, was the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month again. But he has hit the rookie wall. He is not playing nearly as well. We'll talk about it in a moment, but here's Steph Curry on Kristaps Porzingis.
He's got all the, attributes you would want. And his game, from what I've seen, developed, nicely over the course of the year. It seems like he's getting, more comfortable and more aggressive. So figuring out, the system and how he's going to be, effective on this level. And he presents a problem, obviously, with his height and his presence on the floor. So you got to try to make him work as much as you can early, not let him get, position and get to where he wants to go and try to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, when you walk into Steph Curry's house and you're the zinger, you got to try the tunnel shot. He's going to do it in flip-flops. But to me, that is not Warriors pregame live sanctioned because Curtis did not feed him the ball saintly. That is an inbounds violation.
Yes.
I'm not giving him that one. And you know what? Steph's been doing it for years. But remember, Monte Ellis used to do it, and he needed a mirror. He's not going to make that over his head, are we?
Unbelievable.
Wow. That's the Meadowlark lemon. That's really hard.
Wow.
But Porzingis, when you come into Oracle now, you have to do the 2-ball drill right away, and you got to do the tunnel of love shot to see if you can shoot it like Steph, right?
I'm kind of infatuated by this young guy. Watch tonight during the jump ball or free throw situations. Watch how much bigger he is than everybody else. He is really tall. Now, I'm going to share with you.
He's 7'3", say.
He can rebound. He can block a shot. His feet are pretty darn good. He runs the floor. And watch him sometimes. He puts it down on the floor, gives you a little crossover action, can make a mid-range shot and even a 3.
Yeah, we saw him on January 31st.
Look at that.
He got into foul trouble. He only played 20 minutes in the game. He still had 14 points and 6 rebounds. And he's incredibly long and very skilled with the ball. But he has hit the rookie wall. He has not played well in several weeks, which is partly why this team has gone 6-18 since January the 20th.
Well, he's very slight built, and he needs to mature and get bigger. But the stamina is kind of dwindled for him. So he's going to give you glimpses of some really superb play. But they need him to be playing every bit as good as Melo for them to even have a chance to win games. So their margin of error is really tight.
All right, let's go courtside, bring Bob Fitzgerald and Jim Barnett into the conversation about Porzingis and Melo and the New York Knicks. And we welcome them to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Metro PCS. January the 20th, Fitz, this team was 22-22. It looked like maybe they'd make a push and be a playoff team in the East after last year's 17-win nightmare. They have won 6 and lost 18 since. What has happened to the New York Knickerbockers?
Well, I think the thing is they can't find building blocks, so that's where your conversation about Porzingis is so good. I think he is a hit on the draft pick. He is a building block. He is someone you can satellite around. The problem is I think Carmelo is sunsetting, Jim. I don't know that Carmelo and Porzingis are your future. And in New York, there's no patient rebuilding process. They want that done right away.
You're exactly right. Carmelo Anthony can still play basketball, but he plays a different brand of basketball than the Warriors play, for instance. He will be 32 years old in May, and he is the go-to guy. They would be really good if they would build this team around Porzingis and get another player, particularly a point guard.
Yes.
They need some direction from a point guard, and maybe you bring in a Mike Conley next year.
Okay.
Someone like that. Then you tell Carmelo Anthony, we want you to take fewer shots. You're going to be, we're going to count on you, but we don't want you to be the main guy all the time and take everything and dominate the offense.
Yeah, the other thing, too, and this is Jim's former teammate, Phil Jackson, Jackson. The triangle sounds great when you have Michael Jordan or Kobe and Pau Gasol or Shaq. The way they shoot threes now, who are the great Knicks three-point shooters? When has Phil ever run a three-point offense? And I think that clinging to the triangle without superlative talent, I don't know if that works right now.
Yeah, you have to have a very different version of a triangle. I like the triangle, but you've got to be able to be not so tied to it. You've got to be innovative once in a while, and let them go and be a little more freewheeling. Let me just say this about the Warriors tonight. You can't take this team lightly. They had trouble in the first quarter in New York. Stephen Curry was 5 of 17.
Yeah.
Stephen Curry is going to have a big game tonight. Klay Thompson had 34. They made 16 threes. The Warriors shot threes very well, mainly because of Klay Thompson. New York tries to take away the threes. I think Steph Curry will have something to prove to the New York fans here tonight.
The other issue, too, and we all know this being around the league so much, first game of a long homestand and the last game of a long homestand. You don't want to look ahead because you got a flight at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Go for 50 tonight.
Yep. Trying to make it 50 in a row at home in the regular season dating back to last year. We'll check you guys out at 7:30. Ball will go up at 7:40. They were referencing the last time we saw the Knicks, Saintly, on January the 31st. Carmelo had 24 points and 10 rebounds. The Warriors, after a really slow start, won the game handily, 116 to 95. He does lead this team in points, rebounds per game, also assists per game. So his scoring numbers are down a little bit, and he's sharing the ball better this year.
From within the triangle, he has been a willing passer. Now, in his past, he's a matchup forward nightmare because he's deceptively strong. So if they're playing him at 3, he'll really muscle those guys in and take them into the 10-foot area and just shoot with a step-back action to get his shot off. Conversely, if he's got a big 4 guarding him, Draymond's an anomaly. He can guard anybody. But let's say, for example, Mo Buckets was guarding him. He'd take him out on the perimeter, and if you don't go out and guard him, he's going to knock down threes. Or if you run at him, he's really good off the bounce. So look for him operating around the elbows. He's still a big-time scorer, and the problem is he doesn't have enough friends to play with.
Yeah. His overall numbers per game as far as points per game are down to under 22 a game. And we're talking about one of the big-time scorers. He's a former NBA scoring champion. When you compare him to Steph Curry, this is Steph's year this year as he leads the league in scoring, trying to be the first Warrior scoring championship in Rick Barry in the mid-'60s. And Carmelo's season just a couple of years ago, Stanley, 3 years ago, when he led the NBA in scoring. And let us not forget that he had a game just 2 years ago where he scored 62 points at Madison Square Garden. We'll get a little switch here, and Curry will guard him. Harrison Barnes will probably open the game on him. It'll be Draymond on him at times, but he is a great combination of perimeter shooter and low post scorer. These two guys are completely different scorers, the way Melo can operate down low and get to the free throw line incessantly.
Yeah, and this guy here is what I call a volume shooter. He's going to make sure he gets about 25 attempts almost every game. Where I did respect his play was with USA Basketball, and he really played outstanding team ball. At times with the Knicks, he's been asked to do so much that it really gets their team way out of whack. And we'll have to see how he plays tonight. But he has slowed down, but he's still somebody you must respect out there.
All right, the rookie is one piece, Porzingis, that they need more.
Yes.
Can they win? Can you still win with Carmelo now into his early 30s, with Carmelo Anthony being so ball dominant and the best player on your team, Stanley? Can you win that way?
I don't know that you'd get much more than the 8th spot if everything went well, but the front line I like with Porzingis, Lopez, and him. It's the backcourt. They're going to bring a follow off the bench. He had been starting all year, but that's not going to get it done on a good winning team, what they have there in the backcourt. That's something they're going to have to address. Jim brought up free agency, talking about Michael Conley or whoever. Rondo's a free agent. Could go there. But it's going to be an interesting offseason for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, the media in New York wants him to bring in one of those high-priced point guards. Phil Jackson says, we don't need that. With our triangle
he's
offense,
always said that.
We just run a two-guard lineup. Yep. We don't need a point guard. The big question is going to be, who's going to be the head coach next year? Are they going to keep the interim head coach, Kurt Rambis? It sounds like Phil Jackson wants to keep Rambis.
Well, that's all the premise that he wants to run the triangle. And they've allowed some tweaking of it, but Kurt obviously coached it for a long time with Phil. Kurt played with us up in Sacramento. Great, great guy. And I look at this and I'm saying, you know, can you get enough players to make it effective? For me, you can run any set. It's about the players. The players make a play great, or a set great. We call the triangle a set. So with that said, they just need some more pieces. And the coaching situation, I don't know where that's going to go. They could come knocking on the door right here.
For Luke Walton.
Yes, sir.
We shall see. He played 6 years for him in L.A.
Yep.
And was there with him when they were winning, obviously, a couple of championships when Luke was a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. All right. Andrew Bogut the other night got us a little excited, Saintly. Not so much his free throw shooting, but it was his three-point shooting and his shot blocking and dunking. And mainly it was his three-point shooting. You know he's the best three-point shooter on the team now? I know this is going to come as hard news to Steph. He worked so hard. But the best three-ball shooting percentage on the Warriors, and the NBA belongs to Bogut. He is 1 for 1. Sorry, Steph, you got to work harder.
Warriors Pregame Live is presented by...
Shot clock's at 1. Bogut's got to shoot a 3. Why not?
You like that, don't you?
Shot clock winding down. Everyone who plays for the Warriors can make threes.
Well, that was the highlight of the game on Monday night. Andrew Bogut, his second 3 as a Warrior, now 2 for 2 as a 3. And Andrew is a tough guy. He's probably the toughest guy on the team. So if we're going to have a guy interview Andrew Bogut, we got to get a hockey guy here, Saintly. We got to get. We're gonna borrow Brody Brazil from our Sharks coverage to sit down with Andrew Bogut and get a little nasty in the corners with Big Bogues.
Andrew, I've got to begin with this. The shot clock winding down the other night. You find yourself at the top of the key. Take me through what goes through your mind as you release that three-pointer, and maybe what some of your teammates said to you after you hit it.
I'm not going to make too much of a big deal out of it. Obviously, it was the low shot clock. I saw the shot clock, so there was no one really open. So I shot it, it went in, and it is what it is.
You practiced that shot a lot?
No, but if you check, when I was younger, I used to shoot them, so, it is what it is.
I take it back also to a tweet you put out the other day. Normally, I wouldn't even go down this road, but I'm wondering if it needs any clarification. You were talking about maybe the reckless play. Is that the Lillard and Iguodala collision, and maybe what struck a chord for you about that?
I've already commented enough about it, so we'll leave it where it is. People can interpret what they want out of it.
Yep.
But there seems to be a double standard around the league with certain guys, and other guys doing the same thing, and it's not even spoken about. So It is what it is. And
that's fair. You said enough on Twitter. We were just trying to see if there's anything more to it. It's obviously, it is what it is, as you say. So how about down the stretch for this Warriors team? With the exception of how many wins you guys will end up with, you're pretty settled and secure and having the season that you are. What keeps this team sharp? What is it that keeps you guys really getting better, it seems, than getting worse?
I'm not sure. We just want to keep rolling. We don't like losing. We don't like coming into practice the next day after a loss. So the less losses we have, the better mood we're in, I guess. But we have a competitive group. We have a group that, we've had injuries throughout the year. We've had guys missing out of lineups, and we don't want to use those kind of things as an excuse. We've had a couple of bad games where we lost, but for the most part, to have 60 wins at this point in the season already is a great accomplishment.
There was wood around here besides the floor. I'd knock on it, but you stayed relatively healthy this season, and obviously you're still playing the same way, a very physical game. So what's the change? What's the difference for you this time around, how you've been able to do it?
For me, luck has a lot to do with it. My injury history's never because I'm out of shape or because I tweak something running. It's generally high-impact injury, so I've ran into a few of those in my career, and that's unlucky, but dropped some weight in the off-season, so maybe that's helped a little bit, but trying to avoid the high-impact collisions, especially once you're in your 11th year in the league, you get a bit more savvy, and hate to say it, but at times you see a loose ball, and sometimes you probably say, hey, I might need to let this one go and make sure I'm playing the next game rather than going after it and maybe being out for, a week or two.
Two more things for you. With Andre out, and most people would look at it and say, well, it's only one player and it's a team sport, so it's not that much different. You guys can adapt. How much different is it for Coach Kerr to try and find the right combinations?
He's huge for us. People The problem with fans these days is they're all stat watchers. He does so many things for our team that don't show up on a stat sheet. On top of that, he's a veteran leader of that second group. He's kind of the captain of that second group. He makes sure that the second group's ready to play and they're ready to fire up. And he's probably our best on-ball defender on the perimeter. So you put all those things that don't show up on a stat sheet, most people will say, oh, we're not missing much. He doesn't score that much, this, that. But in the grand scheme of things, he's a huge out for us, so we can't wait to get him back.
All right, lastly, in all your years of basketball, maybe you dream of having a season like this. You know what your team's all about. Look at your record. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's almost hard to believe sometimes. Is it as fun as it seems? Or is there some pressure that you wouldn't have expected that comes along with being this good as a team?
Well, there is that pressure of making sure that we come to play every night, and that's the biggest thing. Every team that comes into Oracle or that we go on the road to play, that's a championship type atmosphere for them, and they want to knock us off. So we got to make sure we come with the right mindset. But to think that you'd be in the NBA, I've been in the NBA 11 years, and to be on some good teams and some bad teams, to think you're going to have a chance to even scratch 70, let alone hit 60 at this point in the season, is unbelievable. So we don't take this for granted. We hope everybody else out there doesn't take it for granted. It doesn't come along often, and hopefully we can prolong it and keep it going.
Andrew, thanks a lot. See you behind the three-point line.
No worries.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, Brody, for sparring with Andrew Bogut.
it.
The Warriors tonight are playing their 67th game of the year, and Andrew Bogut is playing his 59th Saints. So he's only missed 8 games, 5 with the broken nose opening night when Dante Cunningham got him with the bow. He's had a couple of back issues. He's been healthy. He's playing 21 minutes a night. His body is lively. He's having a tremendous year.
Well, when I look at Big Bogues, kudos to him in the offseason. He maybe consulted with the training staff and doctors. He lost 20 pounds. You can see a major difference in his hops, his shot blocking ability, his ability to run the floor. We all know his skill level. I mean, this is as skilled a big man as we have in the entire NBA. His passing skills, his shot blocking, his rebounding, his pick setting is superb. So I think his body just looks so much better. I think he feels better. And my gosh, he's a big, important piece to this team.
Gave up salt in the offseason.
Is that what it is?
That's all he had to do, Saintly, is give up salt, and he dropped 22 pounds.
Jeez, I might try that
Cinco
one.
de Mayo could be hard, but maybe every other day we could do that. All right, let's check out the Warriors starting lineup. That's what he said. He gave up salt and lost 22 pounds in the offseason. By the way, with this starting lineup, the Warriors this year are 28-3. And last year with this lineup, Steph, Clay, Harrison, Draymond, and Bogues, they were 50-7. So add that up, Saintly. We're talking 78-10. That's 89% victory with this starting fivesome, so you're not going to change a thing. Yeah. Steve Kerr goes up against the president, head of basketball operations, the New York Knickerbockers, Phil Jackson, who he won 3 NBA titles with during his run in Chicago. And they asked him earlier, Steve Kerr, about what he learned from the Zen Master.
Well, I wouldn't know where to begin on that. I mean, I learned so much from Phil. When I played for him, there's so many things that stand out. His ability to pace our teams. When you go deep in the playoffs for multiple years, it's really taxing emotionally. And he had a great way of pacing us, but getting our work in at the same time. And I can tell this year is a little different from last for our players. Last year was brand new. The excitement never really wore off. Got off to a quick start, and we just kept rolling. And this year, it feels a little more tiresome. I think guys are just after a long year last year and doing it again this year. People coming after you every single night. It wears you down. But what a great position to be in. And we hope we're in this position next year, too. They just don't want to lose. They don't take a night off. And that's the only way to even be in this position. I thought that record was unbreakable, really. The last, 20 years, I never thought anybody would come close, and we still might not. I mean, there's still 16 games to go, and, things happen. But the fact that we're here and that we're even talking about it, I think is a testament to our guys' competitive desire. They hate losing.
Yeah, Warriors got to go 13-3 to get Coach Jackson's record and Steve Kerr's from 95-96. But the Knicks tried to hire Steve Kerr initially, and Steve Kerr's a smart guy. Last year, the Warriors lose 15 games. The Knicks won 17 games. This year, the Warriors have lost 6 all year. The Knicks have lost 40, are 28-40. So he's a great coach. He's also a smart guy that can look at a roster and say, Steph, Clay, Dre, I'm going out west. I'm not going to Phil.
Any doubt about it. And you know, I love his humbleness. And I see a lot of pieces similar with him and Phil. I think they're tremendous communicators with their players. They really resonate. They can be very serious, and they hold people accountable, but yet they want them to enjoy the experience. I also think, like Phil, he's a master teacher. He really teaches the game at such a high level. We look at the Warriors play and we say, oh, my gosh, they do this, this, and this. They practice, and this is really a master teaching job. He's got a great staff, just like Phil had in Chicago and L.A. So I could go on, and I think when you're a player or an assistant coach, you try to take the best you can from each person you work for or with, but you must be yourself. Don't try to be Phil Jackson. You be Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
And there's not many guys in the NBA better than Steve Kerr.
Also, when you look at that Bulls team of 20 years ago, it was Michael and Scotty, but it was also Dennis Rodman, who was a lot like Draymond Green in how he gives you, and Draymond's a way better offensive player than Dennis Rodman, but he gives you that lockdown defense, tremendous rebounding. And what a week this is for Draymond. He had the unibrow on Monday. He's going to get Carmelo Anthony some tonight, Kristaps Porzingis, who they're calling Dirk Nowitzki 2.0. And then he gets the original. He'll get Dirk on Friday along with David Lee. He'll get LaMarcus Aldridge on Saturday. And then the Rookie of the Year in the NBA this year, Karl Anthony Towns, to wind up the road trip on Monday. So before this gauntlet started, they asked Draymond on Monday about facing some of the best power forwards in the NBA this week.
I guess this is kind of the way it always is with a power forward, but what do you think about the matchups that you have this week?
Man, tough, right? Jesus Christ. Oh, man, I thought I was the only one thinking about that. Yeah, definitely a tough week, but, hey, I wouldn't have it any other way. Man, Jesus, it's crazy.
They just keep coming this week.
Yeah, it'll be fun, though. Fun challenge. Then cap the week off with Dirk and D. Lee. Oh, that's great.
You can take him out of Saginaw, but you can't take Saginaw out of him. Oh, we let Draymond say that. What the heck? What are we going to do? We love Draymond.
We're going to tell his mother.
And the way he defends, he's going to get Melo tonight. Yeah. He's a strong, 3-4. Then Porzingis, who's 7-3. The other night, he kind of got a hybrid. Anthony Davis, who's got a little Melo in him and a little zinger in him as well. So we'll break it down. His great defense on the unibrow. The Saintus trainer. Saintly would never use words like that. That's why we got a halo.
Oh, no.
Of course not.
Gosh, no.
Presented by Metro PCS.
Let's watch our man on defense here now. What I want you to focus is just the way he takes angles away. And watch his vision on the ball. He sees his man. And watch the way he steps up to penetration. He just really distracts Davis from finishing, and that's the key to the play. Now, look at help defense right there. Now he's weak side, which is the help side. Bogues contests the shot. He thinks it's going up. Who takes the charge? Steps up above the broken circle, and down goes Draymond. He gets the charge right there on Davis. Davis says, what do I got to do against this guy? Now, check him out here. He sees the ball. He sees the man. He steps in. Active hands. He's got the feet set. He's really not reaching in. He's contesting the shot. So he's there to help his pal Bogues at all times. Now, he's playing low post defense here. Look at the shot contestment. These analytics in the NBA, you do a lot of studies on shot contestment versus wide open shots. Draymond's given up what, Pop, 3-4 inches there to him? And yet he times it perfectly. He distracts his rhythm, misses the shot. We don't give him enough praise for his defense. We talk about his passing. We talk about his rebound and his points. Let me tell you, his defense is a big key why the Warriors are the world champs.
He's listed at 6'7". He's not 6'7". He's closer to 6'5", and Porzingis is 7'3". So he's given up
He'll
a
be up
half
to
a
his
foot,
belly button.
9 inches to this guy. But I go back to January the 31st. Draymond went for a triple-double. Look at the numbers, 20, 10, and 10, and he was 9 of 9 from the floor. The beauty of Draymond, he can guard Porzingis on one end. Porzingis had no clue, Saint. He could not match his foot speed. He could not guard him on the other end, and Draymond lit him up.
Now, the other thing we must talk about is Draymond's IQ, his basketball IQ. So he's playing Porzingis. He's not going to take him down in the low post. He takes him away from the basket, from his comfort zone. He knocks down a couple threes. Now Porzingis comes running out at him. He gives him the up fake. He drives by him, makes a play for a teammate or himself. He had this poor rookie spinning around like a top. And I'm going to share with you, that's the intelligence of this guy.
All right, and the Warriors look to close the homestand in style, trying to go 6-0 on the homestand and run the home winning streak. And this is the numbers are unreal all year: 20-0, 50-5. They're now 60-6 to win 50 consecutive home games, Saint. That's what we're talking about. If they win this game tonight, they're going to turn the big 5-0, 50 in a row at Oracle Arena, dating back to last year in the regular season. Amazing.
Every night you go there, you're going to see something fabulous. And the fans are so excited, and it's just, we're all blessed to be watching this fabulous basketball team. That's as simple as we can put it.
Should be fun tonight. The New York Knickerbockers come to town once a year, and they always bring out their fans as well. And Steph's got the 2-ball drill. He's rocking it hard. I think he wants to impress Clyde Frazier.
Look who's out there.
St. Lee. Andre Iguodala looks all right. Maybe that ankle's healing. Enjoy the game. Warriors basketball's next.
Two summers ago, Steve Kerr spurned a coaching offer from the Knicks, coming to Oaktown and leading the Warriors to their first title in 40 years. As an encore, he has the Dubs chasing down the Bulls' record for most wins ever during the regular season. And tonight, New York comes to Oracle with a 9-time All-Star and a Latvian rookie that's given the Garden faithful hope for the future. The Warriors go for 50 straight home wins right now. The final game of the longest homestand of the year. The Knickerbockers in town for their only visit. The MVP has played very well against New York in his career. And you take the Knicks seriously because they have an elite scorer of their own that loves to score against the Warriors. Can they stay perfect, make it 50 in a row? We'll find out tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And, you know, partner, normally a 6-game homestand, the last game's a little dangerous, kind of a look-ahead game, but not when you play a team from New York.
This is the New York Knicks. It's not Madison Square Garden, but you're still playing the Knicks. Two original franchises, the Warriors and the Knicks. And they are still chasing history, the Warriors are, and remain undefeated at home.
Chasing history, and the Spurs are chasing them. When you look at the Western Conference standings, yes, the Warriors are 60-6. San Antonio's not going away. You got to keep the foot on the accelerator.
There's a little margin of error there, and they've got to play the Spurs 3 more times this year. So you've got to keep the pace here. It's unbelievable what these two teams are doing. They are simply the elite teams in the league.
Now, the Warriors are winning games. Offensively, the pyrotechnics. But Steve Kerr and the staff want to see the defense become more consistent. The last 2 home games, though, the elite championship defense, for a quarter, they were spectacular.
Well, they did it the right quarter, the fourth quarter, when they really clamped down on Phoenix. You do that kind of defensive work early in the game, it'll make it a lot easier.
Draymond Green halftime speech, third quarter against New Orleans.
Just did a terrific job. And we can't emphasize enough how connected your offense is to your defense. When the Warriors play defense like that, they can get out and run and get easy shots. And that's the habit you want to build. Good defense, not for 1 quarter or 2 quarters, but for 3 or 4 quarters going into the playoffs.
And the Knicks are the type of team with 2 scorers that will challenge and test your defense. When you look at Carmelo Anthony, he can go for 50 in a given night. He can keep a team alive. And then a 7'3" Latvian, they call him the unicorn because of the unique skill set. Kristaps Porzingis is a problem. Knicks and Warriors, they go for 50. Greg and the guys right after this.
Warriors basketball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you.
Final game of the 6-game homestand. Warriors trying to make it 50 in a row at Oracle St. Lee. How do they beat the New York Knickerbockers?
Well, we've got a huge advantage in the backcourt. Look for dominance there from Clay and Steph. But I think the key to tonight's win is that Pop is clearly outdressed Walt Clyde Frazier. There's no comparison.
Whoa! I gotta agree with you.
Well, we're gonna really.
I wore my Clyde Power suit tonight because last time we played the Knicks, I wore the exact same suit as Clyde. So you're saying the backcourt's the key. If the Knicks of today had Walt Clyde Frazier and Earl Monroe with Porzingis and Melo and Robin Lopez, we'd have a game. But they don't. They have Calderon and Vucevic.
You love that.
So did he say I'm better dressed than Clyde Frazier?
No doubt about it.
He said that, Mama.
Look at that.
I agree. I am.
We got another one.
It's time for tip-off. Harris Fitz and JB.
All right, Draymond Green at Oracle. The Knicks and the Warriors for the second and final time. Our look at Kristaps Porzingis, who is something special as the rookie from Latvia, Carmelo Anthony. And the Knicks have skidded as of late. For the Warriors, they want to stay perfect at home and build on this homestand as they head off to Dallas, San Antonio, and Minnesota, leaving tomorrow. Our Xfinity starting lineups, first for the Warriors, with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut. For the Knickerbockers, Jose Calderon, Sasha Vujacic, Carmelo Anthony, Kristaps Porzingis, and Robin Lopez. Warriors won in New York, 116-95. That was on January 31st. Bill Spooner, Mark Ayotte, and Leon Wood to blow the whistles tonight. Carmelo post up. Calderon's an outstanding shooter.
Well, he won
drops
the game.
In the wing jumper.
He beat the Lakers on a last-second shot last game.
Klay comes off the curl, but Vujacic and Bogut got tangled up, and Andrew called for the moving screen. Kurt Rambis took over for Derek Fisher on February 8th.
You see that 5-9 record. Formerly head coach in Minnesota.
Draymond knocked it away. It appeared that Porzingis may have touched it last.
I'd say Draymond had a pretty good game January 31st in Madison Square Garden.
Why would you say that, Jim?
Well, how about 20, 10, and 10? Yeah. And he didn't miss a shot. He had a triple-double, made all 9 of his shots.
Carmelo Anthony off iron. Somehow that got to Steph. Step back three is off iron in its own right.
Well, they didn't deserve that one to go down. That should have been a turnover. Andrew Bogut setting a screen, wasn't even looking for the ball. Always have to see the ball, offense and defense.
Draymond blocking Porzingis.
What a heck of a recovery on a 7-3 shooter.
And the backdoor pass, it went out of Clay's hand, and then he missed the recatch. Does not happen very often.
He mishandled twice in one possession.
Carmelo missing the three, easiest rebound of the night. All the way right back to him. See Porzingis made 7-3, and in person, Jim, he's one of the largest human beings you'll ever see. And he's fluid. Harrison misfiring. The Warriors are cold at the beginning. 0 for 4.
Porzingis is very fluid, very mature. Keeps his emotions under control. Only 20 years old.
Lopez misfiring. The Knicks only scored 99 points a game, so the Warriors would like to up-tempo and make it a firepower game.
Yeah, but they're last in the league in fast break points. That puts.
They trying to find Bogut. Shot clock at 10. That one deflected. And Carmelo coming up with a steal.
Just a telegraphed pass. Kind of a slow start. See if they can get out of it.
Porzingis has Clay on a switch. Draymond comes to help double team. And Bogut right in the passing lane. Klay Thompson and the Warriors still with the goose egg.
If the Knicks hit a shot here, it's just going to build their confidence. They're going to play a little tougher.
Vujacic flat. Don't mind the Warrior defense. The Knicks are 2 of 7. We just need to take a lid off the bucket. Draymond rolling. Knicks rotating. Klay Thompson is 0 for 4. And he's had some good looks. Lopez lost it off his leg.
Both teams, a lot of mistakes.
Steph throwing the lob. And that's emphatically the first basket of the game for the Dubs.
Well, his lob is going to be perfectly timed because he throws the lob in that instance just like he shoots the ball. It looked like a shot. It was not a shot. Right on the money. He got the mismatch what he wanted and when he switched.
Vujacic missing there. As we said, the Warriors defense has been excellent. The Knicks are 2 of 8 with 2 turnovers. Steph Curry with the 3, extending the NBA best, 137 straight games with a made 3. ISO Carmelo. The Warriors played that brilliantly. Klay came with the double team at just the right time.
Yeah, nothing wrong with their defense here.
And Klay Thompson's on the board. I think a man with a mustache said the defense is connected to the offense.
Exactly, and you can see they get easy breakouts and they work harder to get those shots. What a pass by Draymond Green and a beautiful run by Klay. Great finish.
Calderon is very clever. Lopez point blank range.
Calderon is just very unselfish, sometimes to a fault.
He's a great shooter.
Yes, he is.
They jump at Steph. Tic-tac-toe. Harrison can't buy it from three-point land. Curry, deep 3. Bogut whacked it again. And out of bounds to New York.
Substitution over New York. Checking the game.
Derek Williams and Aaron Aflalo will check in. Now, you said something about the Knicks in terms of building their confidence. This is a different game than Phoenix or New Orleans. They're primarily younger players in Phoenix. Anthony Davis, some younger Pelicans. There's so many veterans on the Knicks team. If you fool around and let them hang in a game,
absolutely,
they'll know how to finish it off.
Yeah, Aflalo can come in and do damage. Calderon. And, of course, Anthony. He has not had a 40-point game this year. Kind of surprises me.
It's amazing. Klay Thompson with a block. Flalo and Lopez. Ricochet. What a crazy sequence. And the field goal and the foul. Steph with a little reach. And an opportunity for a three-point play.
First team foul. Calling his basket.
Lopez just loses it, but it skirts right to Aflalo, who takes advantage.
Bunch of good years in Denver. Coming over with Lopez as a free agent, as Phil Jackson was trying to bolster the bench.
Went to Orlando for a bit.
Yep.
He can get going one-on-one. He can always get his jump shot.
When he was in Orlando, there was a conversation at play in the West, to follow in the East as far as two-way players. Bogut following in his own miss.
I like that. Just a little crab dribble. Got him at point-blank range, and he stayed with it. Glad to see him be aggressive. I'd like to see him be aggressive offensively a little more. Take advantage of that size.
Lopez missing there.
Good pickup for the Knicks, Lopez.
Draymond a deep three. So the Warriors now 1 of 6 from distance.
Well, it appears to me early going, they're trying to cut corners, trying to make it too easy at times.
Melo created a little space.
Just make the simple play. We've seen 2 long threes now.
So a little ugly offense both ways with 5:15 remaining in the first. So the Warriors were scoreless for a while. Andrew Bogut made sure that ended. And when they get in transition, they're the best team in the world.
Honda believes in helping.
This is Harrison Barnes, and watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
Warrior lead at 3, 5:15 remaining in the first. Our Taco Bell Live Más hysteria moment. Andrew Bogut with his first 3 of the season. Shot clock winding down, and the big man from distance. And fans got a big kick out of it. So did his teammates. Steve Kerr said postgame, I wish he would shoot more.
I know. I've heard many coaches say that. We've said that for a long time. I think when he goes out to 15, 18 feet, he's relaxed because people don't expect him to make it. So he makes more of them. In practice, he does it all the time. That should be a three-point play.
Curry with the flip finger roll.
And he got hit just after the release. He's so clever with that.
I mean, Andrew doesn't talk about it a lot. A lot of times that right elbow is numb. He's got that nerve damage in there, so some nights feels good, some nights a little funky.
Both teams now have combined 8 of 29. In fact, 8 of 30. Let's put it that way. 8 of 34.
Barbosa in, shot clock at 1. Calderon did well just to hit iron. Bogut, so smart, he knew there was no time to shoot.
Well, there's no question about it. The Warriors are working at the defensive end. Look at the percentage of the Knicks.
Draymond finishing inside. Yeah, you're up 7 because you're holding the Knicks to 3 of 16 shooting.
Love that drive by Draymond, and he held on the ball. Got a little contact, but he made sure he was going to get a good look when he brought that ball back. Nice little move, usually done by a smaller man.
They're trying to post up Barbosa. Derek Williams, a little show and go, and he will draw the foul. And that'll be Bogut's second foul. He can't believe it.
Watch Curry release the ball on the way up. He's just got a great skill level. Now, the reason they didn't call that on Lopez because he ran into Lopez. There was contact, but he initiated it on the follow-through.
How about just Carmelo shoving Steph in the stomach, though? That would have been a nice little and-one.
I was like one of the officials on that. I didn't see it.
The bench brigade is in. Bogut 4 points, 5 boards, but 2 fouls. And so Livingston and Mo Spates will join Draymond, Steph, and Barbosa. I think Derek Williams has found a role here as he splits the free throws. He's a super sub scorer, Jim. They bring him in. He gets 8.9 points a game.
Right.
Has a job. Go in and score. Steph right around him. Oh, the left hand.
Steph just reads the body and the moves of his opponent. That's the way you're supposed to play offensive basketball. You react to what the defense does. And he reads it extremely well. That's a tough finish inside by Carmelo.
You said that perfectly with Steph. Don't make up your mind. Wait and see what the defense does as Barbosa will get to the line.
Yeah, and you respond to the defense. You get someone running at you, that's easy pickings for him. Then he loses Calderon because he fakes a pass out to the side, and it's clear sailing for him.
And if Kyle O'Quinn had sold out earlier, Steph would have just dropped it to Spates for a dunk.
Exactly. Carmelo finished nicely down there. Remember, 3 years ago, he was the scoring champion in the league. 28.7 a game. 9-time All-Star for Carmelo. He's trying to do the right thing with this team.
Well, I think he's taken Porzingis under his wing nicely because Kristaps Porzingis had Mike Breen on the Fitz and Brooks show. Rod Brooks, my partner, and he said Porzingis' brother, not only do they watch great players, they watch great players be interviewed and how to handle the media.
Yeah, he's got his 33-year-old brother, also a great player, and he's his mentor. I mean, he's literally his big brother, and he is giving him great advice.
In New York, you better be able to handle the media. Calderon missing there.
Something going to happen here.
Speights running the floor and able to finish with a left hand.
You always want to run to the rim when Barbosa has the ball in front of you. He's going to go to the rim, make something happen, usually for himself. You can follow up things. This time he created for Mo Speights.
Yeah, Mo says Leandro's got it. We're not pulling up and walking it up.
Yeah, that's knowing your teammate.
And the Brazilian Blur becomes a distributor there.
During the Lexus
You play defense, you hold a team to 4 of 18, you build a double-digit lead. It's that simple. Our Lexus pursuit of perfection. Now the Warriors, most wins in team history, that was a year ago. And they would like to surpass that. Back-to-back 60-win seasons and not nearly done with 15 games remaining after tonight.
What a year. To absorb all that, pretty difficult.
Carmelo will get that shark bite foul when you touch a guy on the elbow.
I'll say something about Draymond Green tonight. He gets into you. He's getting into everybody. Saw him block a shot against Porzingis. He loves to play defense. And I talked to Walt Frazier before the game and said, you know, he just plays old school, Clyde, like you and I used to. He battles every second on the floor.
Remember tonight's game and all Warrior games on CSN are streamed live via the NBC Sports Live Extra app on your mobile phone or tablet. Stream the Warriors on the go. I thought you were talking to Clyde because he wore your suit again. You know, that's the problem, is that the two of you wearing the same outfit.
You can't, that shirt is really shiny, by the way. Always the dresser.
Steph Curry hitting the three. And he's got 10 on 4 of 6 shooting. Shot clock at 10. The ISO Carmelo on Draymond has got to give it up. Shot clock at 3. Derek Williams will launch. Wow. He's improved.
Yes, he has.
Not having a great three-point year. I'm just saying he scores a lot off the bench.
That shot looked really good for him. 26% shooter.
Steph Curry with a three. I told you, Jim, once he became 28 years old, this is his prime.
Well, this is what I alluded to our pregame show with Saint and the Godfather, Greg Papa, that Stephen Curry was going to have a big game.
And Carmelo answers.
So he's hit a couple shots here. But Curry was 5 of 17 in New York.
How hot is he? That hot. 6 of 8.
He was 3 for 11 from three-point range. You can count on it and depend on it tonight. He wants to show the New York crowd that was an oddity on January 31st.
Livingston with the foul.
What a quarter. Doesn't matter. Someone can be 6'8", 6'9". Derek Williams, he just shoots it a little higher. We've talked about the arc that he gets on the ball, which gives it a bigger target. Best in the league.
Follow. Bosa went for the steal. Yeah. Made him pay.
Yeah, you go for the steal at point-blank range. You've got to come up with it. Who's disrupted?
Curry fishing off to space, but Langston Galloway with the steal. Derek Williams, nice pump fake.
Well, he slowed down there. He let the defense just play themselves out of position. Nice control.
Warriors could go a little 2 for 1 if they want. Space, there's a free one. He's become a three-point shooter.
And a dependable one. Unbelievable.
Perfectly executed because that's the free possession. Now the Knicks can't freeze it out. The Warriors will get the last shot of the quarter. Williams inside and Steph for the rebound. Now with tenths of a second game shot clock, Steph will play for one. Now the Knicks have a foul to give. So look for Galloway to go for a steal and apply that foul before the end of the quarter. And instead it's Carmelo on the Draymond screen, but make the Warriors take it sideline out of bounds. Which veteran players are aware of game scenarios. And so the Knicks smartly disrupt the Warrior offense there. Steph with the three. And Kyle O'Quinn couldn't quite beat the buzzer. So Curry goes for 16. The Knicks as a team get 19. The defense in full effect. Lock up New York at 35% shooting. And the Warriors build a double-digit lead of 12 after the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, we love baseball.
Excellent first quarter defense. That's a good sign. Speights, another three. Talk about being able to space the floor.
In his previous 7 years, he was 19 of 79. He'd made 19. And by the way, 13 of those were his first 2 years here with the Warriors. So now this year, he's made 16.
We have
16 and 40. So he's made 16 threes this year.
The game is being delayed with what you would call an epic fail of a courtside person. You can't.
What happened?
The full-on drink right onto the floor.
Did the ball go over there? Someone go over?
You know what? We don't like turnovers even from the fans. You cannot turn over the courtside beverage. Giants managing partner Larry Bear is there.
Yeah, there's Larry. That's time on CNBC yesterday.
I don't think Larry spilled the drink. He's got the Brandon Crawford hands. That's in that franchise. He's not going to have that happen. Well, Bill Spooner has tended to it.
I guess if you sit in those seats, you don't worry about the cost of the drink.
Well, now he's texting all his buddies. Hey, I was on TV. Yeah.
Great.
He spilled a whole drink on the floor.
Delayed the game.
Follow.
That's what he does best right there. Just rises up. He loves to go out to about 18 feet.
Langston Galloway, Aaron Aflalo, Kristaps Porzingis with Kyle O'Quinn and Derek Williams. Barbosa, field goal and the foul. Okay, you used to do this, Jim. You used to drive by guys. How does he do it?
You get your defender leaning one way. You know, what you want to do is you want to move your defender on a little, maybe it's a little hesitation. You go just a little bit, and you want to react to him. If he goes right, you're going to go left. If he goes to the left a little bit and stops, you just have to read the defense, but it's like a computer. You've got to do it pretty instantaneously.
So Leandro with 5 off the bench. Speights with 8.
They know he'll shoot the outside shot, so you keep him honest by hugging you a little bit.
Porzingis couldn't get the angle. Harrison Barnes plays good post defense. Livingston.
As I say, he can get that shot anytime. Got a nice 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio this year. So he's taking the place of Andre Iguodala to settle the team down when they need that.
I'm so impressed that after the Iguodala injury, the bench has responded. Multiple guys have kicked in to counteract Andre's absence. Langston Galloway missing long and strong.
Excellent defense by Harrison. Did a heck of a job pushing Porzingis out also, did Harrison.
All hopping around. Speights. And finally off iron. Lowe's first miss of the night.
6 minutes, 8 points.
Kyle O'Quinn, another Orlando Magic member that has made his way to New York.
Keep putting the pressure on him here.
Galloway's a pretty rugged defender. When he came up from the D-League last year, he'll put in effort. He defended Livingston well, and Spates will foul him.
Yeah, not many defenders can force Livingston into a fadeaway jump shot. He usually just goes straight up with that length that he has, and he also shoots the ball, his arms outstretched straight up. And when you make him change it, you've done a pretty good job.
Kevin Seraphin getting the playing time. Coming over for years as a Washington Wizard.
5 years there. Free agent for him this year.
Spates getting a nice hand. Klay Thompson, Varejao, with Brandon Rush, Harrison Barnes, and Sean Livingston. Seraphin, turn, and look what I found. He fires it in from 17. He can score.
And he was a 17th pick overall back in 10, and he's got a big body.
Comfortable on the low block.
And a nice little shooting touch.
Brandon Rush off the Varejao feed.
Just a little bit of dribble penetration from Klay Thompson. And then Varejao the same way. Leaves someone open who can knock him down now. You get the defense just sagging in a little too far.
Flalo forced into the fadeaway. Harrison Barnes rising. Misfiring there.
Harrison just has to get back doing what he does normally. He's got strength. He's got to play right to him.
You see Seraphin. He knows his way around the bucket. Livingston saved the turnover initially. See Galloway knock it away. Harrison Barnes. Nice feed to Varejao.
Beautiful play. Broken play. Harrison did the right thing there. And the bounce pass works.
Kurt Rambis will take time.
They're up by 19 all of a sudden.
When the Warriors shoot 55%, they hold you to 37% shooting and 7 of 14 on threes for the Dubs. And you're at Oracle as an opponent, you're in trouble.
$199 a month.
Warriors' biggest lead is right now at 19 with 7:47 remaining in the first half. Our McDonald's true story of Steve Kerr, hired May 19th of 2014. Most wins ever by a rookie head coach, 67. Leads the team to the championship. Backs it up with another 60-win season. And a credit to the staff he assembled. 127 and 21. Now that's the silliest font at the bottom. Hey, Jim, that's the best winning percentage of any active coach.
Yes, I would say so.
Really?
Yeah, really?
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
He took over when the Warriors were 39 and 4, as Luke Walton took him to that record. So he's 21 and 2. That's not bad either, is it?
Seraphin. Seraphin is French.
Yes.
Played for Cholet Basket in France. Played on the French national team in the London Olympics. And Jim mentioned the 5 years in Washington.
27 years of age. Actually, I think he's 26.
Varejao with that pass inside, knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, he's 26.
I was just doing the math on the winning percentage. Steve Kerr has just edged out Brett Brown for best active winning percentage of any coach. Klay Thompson hitting that three.
That's the first shot that he's hit from the perimeter. He had that one layup. Good to see him back. Only played 6.5 minutes in that first quarter.
Sasha Vujacic, another guy who was out of the NBA and played overseas, came on back.
Left for a couple of years. He's improved.
He has. Just like Tony Douglas the other night.
Tony's a lot better, isn't he?
Brandon Rush, well defended there. Seraphin closed out nicely. And Ian Clark, kick save and a beauty.
That went up to about row 10. And he did stick it out there, that foot. And he got his whole foot into it. But he's feeling it. Yep, that was so smooth and easy for him. They've got to prevent him from catching the ball, coming to the ball side. And when he does go up, you got to challenge him.
Seraphin's 8 points lead the Knicks. There's Allen able to finish. Pocket 12. Thanks to Galloway inside.
What about him? Never drafted, waived, 10-day contract. Averaged 12 points a game as a rookie.
I like him as a defender.
Yes.
Plays really hard. Got long arms for a point guard defensively. And right there, Galloway knocks the ball away. Brandon Rush.
When you get waived from the league, you tend to play really hard when you come back.
Appreciate it. Harrison Barnes battling with Seraphin, but Seraphin's had a great quarter. Carmelo will not pass this. Not with Ian Clark on him. He knows he has the mismatch. He's going to back him down. Finally, the double team forces him to pass the ball. Carmelo saying, I still have Ian Clark on me. Good for Ian. And the Warriors recognizing.
Probably didn't get as low. They came with a double team. He didn't get as low as he wanted.
Klay Thompson, another three. With Iguodala out, they're subbing Klay out earlier in the first, so he can play with this unit longer minutes in the second. That's been Steve Kerr's adjustment.
Yeah, smart.
Carmelo for three. Dropping that down. Steve Kerr will use a timeout. So the Knicks with Seraphin off the bench. Anthony now with 8 and trying to climb back into the ball game.
We are professional grade.
Warrior lead at 14. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett with you at Oracle. The Giants and A's Saturday at 1 right here on CSN Bay Area. And apparently, Jim, if you're a GM named Bob, you have really good off seasons. Bob Myers does that with the Warriors, and Bobby Evans got Johnny Cueto, Jeff Samardzija, and Denard Span. And credit the Giants for breaking out the checkbook. That is a terrific offseason, and for a team that should be fun to watch this year. Jeff Samardzija.
I saw him pitch a preseason game here, exhibition, early on. He looks good. Better than the record that I've seen that we've shown there under 500.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he was a Cub. He was an A. He was a White Sox. I think he's going to like AT&T.
Still 60 feet 6 inches, right?
Yeah, but fly balls don't go out there. Brandon Rush benefiting from the Draymond pass.
That rim is still 10 feet.
Thank you, Norman Dale.
Thank you. Yes. But even the Giants and the acquisition stuff, they've got me thinking about them.
Giants and Cubs are going to be awesome this year. Vujacic missing.
Flalo is a near 39% three-point shooter. So I said he can go out to 18. He likes that, but he can go to 3 also.
And this is what we're talking about. It's different than a Utah or New Orleans and Phoenix. To reiterate the point, a Seraphin, an Aflalo, a Carmelo Anthony, is that this is a veteran team. Hogan guiding that home. You don't want to fool around with a veteran team. They get hungry, and they can make you pay.
So Bogut's got 6 on the board already.
Brandon Rush, beautiful steal.
Run with him.
Curry in transition. Brandon getting it back. And look at Aflalo. Stayed attached to Steph Curry.
That was basically, and I love Brandon Rush and what he does, but he got caught betwixt and between. That was kind of a high school play.
Serafin finally missing. Carmelo Anthony's only a 32% three-point shooter, but wide open, he's going to stripe it. And so Anthony with 11, Steph with 16, and the 19-point lead is down to a dozen. Curry hitting another three.
It's a big shot by Carmelo because they're last in the league in points off turnovers too, Bob. And you turn the ball over, they knock a three down.
Aaron Aflalo, well defended by Brandon Rush. Steph will push. Draymond, wicked screen on Calderon. Brandon Rush three, and he was almost too open. Bogut will commit the foul. Calderon still in some distress. Holding on to that right knee, and that's not a good sign. 2:18 remaining in the first half. Bogut's got 6. Curry's passing in points.
Green all through the month of February, and he went green, and he got red.
Warrior lead at 15. Our AT&T U-verse rewind. Draymond Green, triple-double in the Garden with the 20, 10, and 10. He was special that night.
You can take the pledge
And the full skill set on display in the world's most famous arena. And for Draymond, when you start thinking about 13 points and 9 rebounds and 7 assists, that's been done only by these guys in NBA history. It's not a bad list to be on at all.
Well, Pat Lever's not a Hall of Famer. Grant Hill.
Pretty close.
I was going to say, he's right there, knocking at the door.
Our Geico Advanced Analytics stat. You know, now Fat Lever, when I see that list, that's a product of the Doug Moe Nuggets, where they were just stats all over the place.
Sure.
The rest of that list are elite players in the history of the game.
I think those teams averaged over 130 a game up in Denver, by the way. But
And it's not like Fat's a bad player. I'm just saying
Fat was a hell of a player.
Havlicek and Oscar and Bird and Magic.
He had some really good years, did Fat. Had a son that went to the University of Oregon. Good player also. Just couldn't quite play at this level.
Curry in play. Ball hopping around. Shot clock at 12.
A little carelessly, perhaps, but they got completed. What a completed is so someone can make something of it.
Draymond, good look on the ball handling. Just rimmed it out. The Knicks have steadied the ship here in the second quarter. Carmelo going to get a running start at Bogut.
And then go right up. Oh, he goes around him. How about that? And turned it over.
Serafin was surprised he passed it.
I agree. 9 out of 10 times he's going to come at you and pull right up. Shoot that three.
Steph Curry.
He puts on the brakes. You think he's going all the way. He's not only aware of his man, he's aware of Serafin coming, puts on the brakes and takes a little one-footer off the board.
ISO Carmelo was a clear side. Wallow. Steph will pick up the foul. Heading to that timeout, we wanted to show you Jose Calderon. Nobody told him Draymond was behind him. And he landed awkwardly and twisted that knee.
That was really a blind pick that could have called the foul on Draymond.
And we're still tending to him. Aaron Aflalo, 9 years out of UCLA. 22nd pick of 2007. Jim mentioned, signed as a free agent by the Knicks. They'll get to Curry. Steph off the wheel. Klay Thompson getting his own rebound. Harrison Barnes. Klay Thompson again. I'll tell you one thing, if you don't rebound against against the Warriors and you give them multiple opportunities, you're going to have a problem. Melo Anthony. 13-8 here in the second. An 8-second game shot clock difference winding down this first half. Warriors can't freeze it out. Curry hiding behind Bogut. And out of bounds to New York. So the Warrior lead was 12 at the end of one. They pushed it to 20 at one point. Knicks made a bit of a surge. Very smartly getting Bogut out with 3 fouls. Make sure he doesn't pick up the 4th here. Same thing with Steph, who's got 2. Warriors need 15 seconds of defense.
Yes, important. I mean, they've controlled the game, but the bottom line, when the Knicks were at 38%, now they're up at almost 45.
Langston Galloway missing. Play with a rebound at 2. From 3-quarter court. That was right on line. So a 16-point lead at the break. Excellent first quarter of defense. Knicks make a little push in the second. But the Warriors in control at the half. Greg and Gary in the studio for Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Is tonight the night the Warriors make it 50 in a row at home? The work is halfway done.
March is NBA.
For the Warriors, we're at the world's most famous arena back on January the 31st. Steph scored only 13 points. It was his 3rd lowest output of the year. And as Jim Barnett, who has seen a game or two, correctly predicted, he would take care of that tonight, and he has. Welcome in studio, Warriors Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Greg Papa, we've seen a game or two. Gary St. Jean. Steph went for 21 in the first half, Saintly.
You know what? He came out in that first quarter knocking those threes down, and I'm saying, holy cow, he might break the record tonight. And then he threw a couple floaters in there, and there he uses the high pick. The defender goes under the screen. He's wide open. Then he just takes it out about 3 or 4 more feet. That's from about 26 right there. And, you know, notice the great passing right in the pocket. So when they deliver it to him, it's right at chest height, so he can catch it and go right up in his rhythm and knock down the shots. You know, quality passes create quality shots, and he really had great looks in the first half. 5 threes for Steph. They had 3 from Klay Thompson. The Warriors, the last 3 times they have played the New York Knicks, they have averaged 15.7 threes and shot 53% on the 3-ball. Certainly in the first half, 11 of 23 on threes, including not 1, there it is, but 2. We need Mo threes from Mo buckets. Keep in mind, the NBA record for most threes in a game is 23. They have 11 at halftime. Got a chance.
Warriors Halftime Report is
Warriors are playing great. They're up 62-46. The one down point is Harrison Barnes. Saintly is still in this slump. He's 0 for 4. You'd like to get him going a little bit in the second half.
And maybe we'll see him play more in the second half with the second group and maybe get more opportunities. He just needs to get that feel of the ball going in the hoop. The other big key, you know, I saw Walt Frazier during the broadcast, the legendary Hall of Fame point guard, and I'll share with all of our Bay Area viewers, Pop's got him outdressed. 200%.
I agree. You
it's
said
not
that on
even
the
close.
The pregame
not even
key
close.
is the same as the halftime key.
Yeah.
Me continuing to out-thread. Clyde looks pretty good when you look at that shiny shirt he's got on. It's pretty good, though.
Yeah, but he's not in your ballpark.
I wore my Clyde Frazier. I wore my Clyde Frazier suit just for. That was Walt Frazier. Warriors lead 62-46. Speak softly, Stanley. We don't want any accidents.
What's going on there?
We'll see you after the game on Honda Warriors Post-Game Live.
And our Jack in the Box at the half with the Warriors up 16. Steph Curry has carried the load offensively. The Warriors' excellent first quarter defense, but the Knicks are a veteran group, and in the second quarter, they got going.
They did. Both teams got going and scored pretty at will in that second quarter. What I liked in the first part of the game, you've got to come out and you've got to make them uncomfortable at their offensive end.
Yep.
And that's what Draymond Green did against Porzingis. Porzingis stat, 9.5 minutes, 1 of 3. All the rest are goose eggs right across the board. And he set the tone early, and the Warriors just had a terrific offensive first quarter with 31 and held them to about 35% shooting.
Well, you said it pregame. Steph Curry, 5 of 17 in New York. He would have something for the Knicks. The KFC Nashville Hot Shot Chart brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'd say that was hot. 8 of 12. Hit 5 from beyond the arc. And it's the way he scores inside now. We're taking for granted, but these finishes are amazing.
Well, he was just terrific. 6 of 9 in the first quarter, including 4 threes. I love this mismatch that he got. He got the big center, Robin Lopez, to come out until he threw the lob. And then another lob for a little easy layup for your big center. And with these little drives, he's always under control. He just knows how to get the shot off without getting blocked. He can stop on a dime, part your hair. He's just a very gifted and talented offensive player.
So in the first quarter, you hold the Knicks to 35% shooting. Second quarter, not good. And that's what we talked about in the 2 previous games. It can't just be 1 quarter of good defense.
Well, they got, ready for this, they got 17 points in the second quarter from their bench.
Yep.
Seraphin came in, did a good job. Aflalo came in and scored. So they've done a pretty good job on the starters.
Having said that, the Warriors up 16 with the third quarter on the way.
Warriors basketball on CSN Bay Area is...
Warrior lead at 16. And in the New Orleans game, Jim, it was Draymond Green who talked to the team about defense at halftime. I don't think up 16 it needs a particular speech, but you don't want the Knicks shooting 52% in a quarter as they did in the second, because against the Dallas on the road and against San Antonio, consistent 4 quarters of defense is going to be necessary.
Well, they got after it, and I talked about Draymond Green at halftime. He did a super job on Porzingis, blocked his first shot. Porzingis was a non-factor. And you look at the bench, the Knicks bench outscored their counterparts, the starters, 27-19.
Right.
They're the ones that played in that second quarter.
And that's Seraphin and Aflalo.
Yes.
And some of the veterans.
Derek Williams, too.
Yep, they know what they're doing.
So I have to say, the Warriors, though, they kind of put it on cruise control after that first quarter. They still managed 31 in each of the quarters.
Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut. And you want to know what kind of coach Steve Kerr is? He ran that play specifically for Harrison Barnes coming out of halftime, Jim.
Who had not scored in the first half.
Harrison was 0 for 4. He's been scuffling offensively. He's playing great defense still, but they're trying to get him untracked. He had 10 quality games offensively, and then the last 10, he hasn't been himself. And, you know, Draymond went through that a little bit as well offensively. Renew your season tickets by tomorrow, St. Patty's Day, and get exclusive access to playoff tickets before everyone else at 888-GSW-HOOP.
You know who we're going to see tomorrow in Dallas? We'll have to fly in there, have the day off. One of the great Warriors, Clyde Lee, and his daughter lives in Dallas. She's going to come. You'll see her tomorrow night.
Oh, terrific. Oh, yep. Great. And Carmelo forced into the travel. You know, a good sign here. Calderon is back and playing.
I'm glad.
He twisted that knee. A little concerning, but
good. Yes.
Calderon, Vujacic with Lopez, Porzingis, and Carmelo Anthony.
No wrap on it or anything, so must feel strong and good. Don't see Curry on the low block very often.
Step posting up. Is firing there, and Harrison Barnes. Offensive rebound. Play through the mix. Porzingis the rebound. Draymond's got Lopez on a switch. Porzingis can step out to three-point range, but that was flat. Vujacic. Draymond will push himself. thought about that three. Keeping the ball moving. Klay Thompson barely in his hands. And he rails his 4th triple of the night. Biggest lead of the night.
The Knicks allowed 16 made threes in that first game between these two teams, January 31st. And by the way, it was 16 of 29 for the Warriors. They're not defending the three-point line very well at all against the best three-point shooting team in the league.
24-second violation.
Oh, my.
The rookie Porzingis cycled it out to some veterans, and they both passed on shooting the ball.
I cannot believe that Calderon did not launch. 11-year veteran. He's one of the smartest guys in the league.
And he made up for it with the steal.
And he hurt himself again. He's limping.
Porzingis forgot the ball. Calderon fouling Steph, and he may have to come out of the game as Langston Galloway checks in.
A little bounce pass, and Dre got a hand on that. Got a little bit of a hand. So he's, if you want to call that a block shot, he's got 2 block shots on Porzingis.
I'm excited for Friday night because Dallas has gone small with Nowitzki at center.
Okay.
I want to see what that looks like. David Lee is now a Maverick,
Oh,
so
that's fun.
that will be interesting.
And he still roots for the Warriors.
He does, but Saturday night, Jim, you get to watch the lob to Bogut. You get to watch Draymond Green and Kawhi Leonard play defense. That's just a special NBA night. Melo with the skip pass. Galloway. Warriors playing 24 seconds of good defense again. And Lopez bails out the Knicks. How about the lobs that Stephen Bogut, a year ago, remember the misfires on the lobs? They were high, they were behind people.
Well, we've seen 3 tonight already.
Timing has just been excellent. Clay having that knocked away. And Draymond, the take foul.
Where's foul charge, Draymond Green, second personal.
All right, let's watch how we set this up. Okay, here's the back. Stop it right here. We've got a back screen, and this man does not help. Bogut goes. You're going to see. And that's Vujacic. He does not help Lopez, and Lopez wasn't very pleased about that.
Thanks to Galloway. Off fire. Draymond Green with the rebound. Outlet to Curry. Not only Spades can throw the touchdown. Look at Draymond. He looked at Mo. He's saying, hey, I got the arm too. And Spades turns away. Oh, that was awesome. Draymond Green saying, what about Michigan State? I'm tired of hearing about Florida. A touchdown in his own right. Knicks take time, and the Warriors' biggest lead is right now.
It's Spring Green Friday at Orchard.
Ahmed Fareed here with a Sportsnet Central update. If the 49ers do not trade Colin Kaepernick, he does plan to show up for work on April 4th. The San Jose Mercury News' Cam Inman reporting this, citing a league source. This is all while trade talks with the Broncos and Browns have reportedly cooled. Fitz and JB, we'll send it back to you.
Kaepernick still under contract for 1 more year. I'd show up for work for $11.9 million too. Carmelo gets Bogut on a switch, and a 3-second violation on Lopez. Jim, how does a guard know when to leak out on a play like this?
Well, you see he's got the rebound, and you start running early. First of all, you can't wait on anybody, and then you notice they had no guards back. That was the key right there. Only the bigs for New York were back, so he just ran. He just is always aware of where people are. You get the smalls down towards the baseline, take a chance.
Hey, Thompson missing, so you assess the floor balance, and then you say, hey, it's a bunch of pachyderms. I'm faster than them, and you beat them down the court.
Absolutely.
Carmelo missing there. That's why a missed corner 3 by a guard is so dangerous defensively, because the guards aren't back, and you miss that corner 3, and the other opposing guards can streak out. Stephen Curry with a three. You know, he's starting to run back as he releases the ball now, Jim.
He just makes it look so easy.
He knows it's in. Follow. Sent away by Bogut. Warriors, man advantage. It's a 2-on-1. Curry runs to the line. Feet set. And he missed the open three.
You know what Steve Kerr will say? Hey, a 2-on-1, we had a layup. That's what he'll say, and smile. He's one of the few guys I'd say, go ahead and take a three. Even
Follow flat.
There's a leak out again.
And it's Harrison getting the lay-in.
That's the way to get yourself on the board.
And that's a great smile for Harrison Barnes. That's got to feel good. He's playing defense, he's rebounding, and that time he benefits from the open floor play. The Knicks taking time, but they're not stopping the Warriors at all. .6:59 remaining in the third. James Michael McAdoo, part of our Ford Right Choice at Bellhaven Elementary in Menlo Park. Part of the Warriors and NBA's Get Fit program. Was out there with the kids, and it's good to see James Michael fit again.
Yes.
As he is healthy and having fun. And all the NBA programs, Read to Achieve, Get Fit Week, the Green Initiatives, and the players, even on off days, are still out about and part of the community.
Yeah, that's what we do. I did 2 events last week besides the 4 games, Tuesday and Thursday. Stanford Healthcare did that last night again, by the way. One of our great partners for the Warriors. The brand doesn't get better than Stanford in this Bay Area.
Shallow Anthony off the feed from Seraphin.
Well, they finally hit. That's now 2 of 9 in this quarter for the Knicks. The Warriors defense has been smothering. 0 for 3 from 3. Haven't shot a free throw. Warriors 5 of 9. Including 2 or 3 from 3.
Harrison wheeling inside.
Well, you think the 2 free throws and that little leak out got him a little relaxed?
You think your head coach running the first play of the second half for you?
Yep.
And happy to see Harrison smile. It's just great. Carmelo Anthony rattling home the 3.
He's pretty efficient from there tonight. 3 or 4.
18 points for Anthony, 11 for Aflalo.
But you see how it's just kind of, he's not really taking the ball every time. He's trying to play within the system. Let's see if Bogut would like to get a shot himself here.
He's always looking to pass, and that time gets Draymond at point-blank range.
Yeah, and he'll apologize to Andrew, say, he's doing it right now. I'm sorry, I blew your assist.
Andrew's saying, yeah, but that was your 10th rebound.
There you go.
And you got 9 assists. We're going to get you some more points.
What a nice switch there on a backdoor play.
Galloway hitting the jumper.
That play they just ran, weak side, and the off-guard cuts has been around since Naismith invented the game.
Travel.
Doesn't beat his man on the dribble, Aflalo, who's smaller and faster, but then he does a nice little drop step reverse that gives him a lot of room to separate from his defender and get a look at the hoop.
Galloway. Very reliable, Langston Galloway. Going to give you max effort, going to play good defense, and he's 3 of 6 from the field. And it is the Knick bench that's been better tonight. They have some pros on that bench. Playing against Seraphin on a switch. That means Bogut's got Galloway, the point guard. Klay Thompson 3.
A big man is not used to that. Seraphin was starting to switch back, and then he got caught right in the middle of it all and couldn't recover. He doesn't realize how fast that ball gets out of Thompson's hands.
Bogut reached. Committed the foul.
Oh, he didn't like that. What's that, foul number 4?
It is.
Let's see if he got all ball. We have the angle. That's pretty good defense there. But again, sometimes the official says that looks like a foul to me.
Well, it's the chopping down motion that always sells it.
Iguodala does that all the time.
Yep.
He has educated the officials through trial and error through all the years because he does that proficiently.
Well, Andrew did not say a word because Billy Spooner is an elite official who will be doing heavy-duty playoff games.
Okay.
And so Andrew respects, he knows who called it. They'll have a little chat at some point. Billy might even say, you know, Andrew, I might have missed that. You might have got it clean. You know, a younger official, you bark maybe. Not with Billy. Curry missing inside. Thanks to Galloway.
And how about Carmelo? He could have taken the shot. He faked a little pass like he was going to shoot to bring that defender to him. Just open it up for Galloway.
Yeah, Carmelo's got 6 assists, and Curry this time was going to make sure he got to the line.
No one likes losing. And since this team was at one time 22-22, 6-18 since that time for the Knicks.
Also, too, Carmelo won a lot in Denver.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, and you know, he had the big trade. Mozgov and Wilson Chandler and others went to Denver. And a lot of losing in New York. The Clippers, after we get back from the road trip, will be here. The first 10,000 fans get a Warrior t-shirt, courtesy of Cache Creek Casino Resort. And final meeting, Warriors and Clips at 888 GSW Hoop. The Spurs tuned up the Clippers last night. San Antonio is on a roll right now.
And also San Antonio is 33-0 at home.
Yep. Seraphin misfiring there. And it feels like San Antonio's beaten the Warriors 150 straight times in San Antonio in the regular season.
It's been, what, 16 or 17 years regular season. The Warriors haven't won there.
Yeah, Dominique Wilkins was playing for the Spurs, okay?
Say that again? Dominique
Wilkins was playing for the Spurs. That's how long ago it was. 4 head coaches played in that game. Thinking guys like Avery Johnson and Vinny Del Negro. And the Warriors, that regular season streak is the longest in NBA history. Warriors did win a playoff game a couple years ago. Galloway missing, Bogut the rebound. Bosa always at high speed. Now they wanted Bogut to shoot that 3.
They remember.
Curry bothered by Galloway. Jaren Grant, rookie out of Notre Dame, driving there. And Seraphin, the beneficiary.
Did a little bit of a travel before he got that shot off on the pump fake.
They're cheering for Bogut every time to take a perimeter shot. Bogut said, I'll take that one with the left hand. So Andrew Bogut, 10 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 5 of 6 shooting. Very productive game for the big man.
Once in a while, they may need some of his scoring in the postseason, right?
You need the threat. You need the inside threat.
I agree.
And Barbosa. Kurt Rambis is blowing through his timeouts. This will be a 20-second timeout.
He may be 33 years of age, but he can still run.
Well, much like the first quarter, the Warriors have locked it down defensively here in the third. The fast break points 24-5. And now, when you see the Knicks not getting back on defense, the Warriors are totally taking advantage of that. But this is exactly the type of tune-up you would want because this road trip is 3 games in 4 nights.
Yeah, and you've got to be ready for that. But they're going to make history again. 50 straight wins on their home court here. I love what they're doing because they're playing to the weakness of the Knicks. The Knicks overplay you. You're going back doors and getting layups. You're also leaking out. The Knicks don't like to fast break. I think they have the fewest fast break points per game in the league, and the Warriors have the #1. So they're just beating with their strength and the weakness of the Knicks.
All right, we're going to work on one thing right here. Ready?
Okay.
It's got to be 50 straight wins at home. I mean, we cannot say that in a normal, even tone.
You just got to be emphatic. Okay.
I'm just saying 50 straight at home? That's got to be a little incredulous as you throw it out there. But you're right. History every night. We come to Oracle, something different. This homestand alone, we've seen the record by Steph in terms of threes made in consecutive games. We've seen the longest home winning streak in NBA history. We saw the most threes ever made in an NBA game in history. And that's just on this homestand.
Porzingis is still stuck with 2 that he got in the first quarter. 2 points, 1 field goal.
Galloway had to beat the shot clock.
And I want to say this about fast break points. The Knicks have 5 fast break points. They average 9. The Warriors have 24. They average a little over 20. So they're above norm. And right now the Knicks are a little below norm, but they don't want to run.
That's a lob to Draymond. He did well to catch it, and Porzingis, what a weak side block. Shot clock at 3. Curry's the man to beat the clock. A fadeaway 3. He banked it in. Now he banked it in from an angle. You got to be kidding me.
Well, he had to get away from the lone defender who came at him. Jerry and Grant, I believe it was. Might have been Galloway. But we're going to have to ask him after the game, did he try to bank it? And he might say yes at that angle.
Galloway flipping that up and out. Jaren Grant to Porzingis. Curry battling on the glass. All right, I'm going to give you this. The Masters are coming up in golf, right?
Okay.
Bobby Jones said it about Jack Nicklaus. He plays a game with which I am not familiar. And Steph Curry is the basketball version of that. What game is this guy playing? 8 threes, 34, 12 of 20 shooting, and the entire building with a standing ovation for the brilliance of Stephen Curry.
And another fourth quarter coming up where he won't play.
Porzingis missing. Draymond from three-quarter court. And that will do it. 34 points in 28 minutes. But the MVP, there are angles and shots that are not made. How does he bank this in? And the second one, Jim? Now, this is just normal with the quick release.
HD is brought to you.
Our Metro PCS Unlimited Performance, the road trip. The Mavs beat the Warriors. Steph didn't play in that game. Warriors got revenge. The Spurs, 42 straight at home, 33-0. The Warriors have lost 32 straight regular season games in San Antonio. And I'm excited for Minnesota with Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and Zach LaVine. Jaren Grant dropping in the jumper. Jaren, the son of Harvey Grant, the nephew of Horace Grant. Heavy-duty NBA family.
Horace played a few more years than Harvey.
He did. Horace got some jewelry. Played with that Jordan guy.
Yes, he did. And with jewelry, with plural, several.
Porzingis, as Jim mentioned, the rookie has had a rough night. 1 of 8. Barbosa, Harrison Barnes inside, and he'll get to the line. So Steph might be working on 18 games in which he's not had to play the fourth quarter. Harrison hitting the free throw. Celebration of Chinese New Year. Warriors have a great assortment of apparel for men, youth, and women. All brought to you by Adidas. All available at Warriors.com. Chinese heritage uniforms.
Well, the thing about Stephen sitting out in fourth quarters. Thompson also. It's a long season, so that's going to serve them well when they go to the next season, the playoffs.
Well, with the Spurs, their minute management is part of their culture, and it's missing games. But if you take 18 fourth quarters you don't have to play, that's over 4 games that you were kind of secretly rested. And so Steve Kerr hasn't sat players out yet. Spates missing the finger roll, but he manages the minutes.
I wonder if that would come back-to-back Saturday night after Dallas to San Antonio.
Spates, good contest at the rim. Harrison, discontinued dribble there. And called for the carry. Now I'm wondering, is Greg Popovich resting any Spurs on Saturday night?
I do not think so.
I do not think so either. No. Because after the Warriors beat San Antonio by 30, the Spurs have been waiting on the Warriors.
Interesting thing here, you could have 2 teams, the Spurs and the Warriors, go undefeated at home this year. It's possible.
Both missing the 3. The nice thing about it, both teams will have something to say about that. Because the Warriors play San Antonio twice down there. The Spurs have to come here on April 7th one more time. Porzingis missing.
He just cannot fly a hoop.
Mo Spates. Another 3. 3 of 4 on the night, and Jim, his season is 15 of 39.
Well, he was 14 of 38 coming in, so now we're going to have 3 more. He's got 17.
Crazy.
17, 2 more, and he will match his 7-year total. 2 more threes this season. He will match his first 7 years of 19.
Brandon Rush rattling out that 3. Coming into the year, Brandon Rush's three-point shooting and Mo Spates' three-point shooting have been pleasant revelations for the Warriors. Seraphin misfiring. Mo, and that one off iron. So a long way to go in the game, but the Warriors now playing with that 30-plus point lead. And Steve Kerr just doesn't want it to get real sloppy.
Well, Mo's never made 3 threes in a game before, and he's probably never shot 5, but he'll settle right now for 3 of 5. Warriors up big by 32.
There's no...
Toyota game summary. First quarter and third quarter, outstanding Warrior defense. And just the blowout is in process right now. And that allows minute management, as Draymond's had to play only 29 minutes, Bogut 22, Klay Thompson 25, Steph 28. You know, Draymond Green is the only Warrior in the top 20 minutes played in the league. He's 18th in total minutes played. Steph and Klay are just outside the top 30.
If you told Draymond Green that, he wouldn't even know that.
Oh, I know.
He would just, he's unfazed by that. He's just a workhorse. He's a Clydesdale at times, and then sometimes he's a thoroughbred. He's a mix of all that. But he brings the shovel every day. Nobody's going to outwork him.
Shot clock at 4. And Klay putting it up and in. And for Klay and Draymond, the last 2 years they've done something that rarely happens in sports. You earn a large contract, and you get better.
Yep.
You don't get paid for what you used to do. You go prove you were worth every dollar that they spent to extend your contract. Varejao blocking Lou Amundsen. And Lou will go to the line.
That last shot by Klay Thompson, I mean, he just has so many moves. It slows down for him, and he's so long, and he gets that little fadeaway, and he's inside the lane. It's automatic for him. And there's no way you can defend it. There's just no way you can get to that shot.
Amundsen, only a 43% free thrower, but making that there. The Warriors have expanded their available stock of jerseys. Every man, woman, and kid in Dub Nation. Any jersey you want, from every player at Warriors.com.
It's nice for the guys that don't get to play too much. Ian Clark, McAdoo come in. Games like this. Even Klay and Harrison Barnes on the floor with him.
Varejao was fouled.
Leon Clark didn't want to call the first one. He's got, okay, let it go, but then they do it again. It induced him to blow the whistle.
Kevon Looney had come back from his D-League assignment, Jim, and that little hip inflammation.
Yes.
So he is not available tonight. Thinking about emptying the bench is McAdoo. He looked back at Ron Adams there. I think it was a hey, so how about that, coach? So we work on all the time.
And you can see how pleased
I love it.
The father is, if you will. He works on it every day. They've been working on it so long, so much. Hundreds and hundreds of shots.
Also, too, James Michael had time and space, and he took it. And the form looked good. Passed up the jumper. Varejao. Flipped it in and drew the foul.
That was a line drive hook from 4 feet. That had to be perfect to go down here. You get a good look. Drop step. And it just got barely over the front of that iron and caromed in. He'll take it and doesn't make the free throw.
We've chronicled these stories. Barbosa out, the emergence of Ian Clark. Harrison Barnes out, the emergence of Brandon Rush. Azili out, look at Mo Spates and Varejao.
That's what NBA players are supposed to do. And they understand that mentality.
Jaren Grant.
I don't know much about Grant as Thompson doesn't get that, but I know he went to Notre Dame, so you do. Tell me.
Jaren Grant, along with Portland's Pat Connaughton, who we saw in this homestand.
Yep.
They were the co-captains for the Irish that went to the Elite Eight. He's as one of the great all-time winning records in Notre Dame history in terms of Jaren Grant played all 4 years there. He also had some of the more spectacular collegiate dunks you've seen in the last few years. As Ian Clark hits the mid-range. And Jaren's been fighting for a little playing time here because you have veterans like Arron Afflalo. And I think in New York, they're wondering, okay, with the way the season has gone, why is Sasha Vujacic starting at the off guard when our draft pick is coming off the bench?
Correct.
You know, the same idea is, okay, well, make the rookie earn it, but that was the 19th pick in the first round.
He got in 16 minutes in the game in New York and made a hoop, but just didn't follow him at Notre Dame. They're making it hard on Porzingis.
Lalo is firing there, and the Warriors smartly let it go out of bounds. Exactly the type of game you would want before you head on the road for 3 games in 4 nights. The Warriors have pounded the Knickerbockers.
On CSN California.
Warrior basketball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Provident Credit Union's Super Reward Checking. Steph Curry was nothing short of super tonight. 34 points, 28 minutes, 8 of 13 on threes for the MVP. And he also had the Rams shot of the game. The little show and go. And the lefty flip shot, the Rams shot of the game.
He's gotten so if you did not know who he was and never seen him play and didn't see him take an outside shot, saw his drive to the hoop, you wouldn't know whether he's right-handed or left-handed.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, he's ambidextrous when he's driving to the hoop now.
That means he can swim underwater?
He'd probably do that too. But he would have to have a tank.
McAdoo shot clock at 2. And the Knicks played the D. The Warriors being unselfish in terms of the overpassing. And Darren Grant. He can play, Jim.
Yeah, they list him at 190. There's no way he's 190. I like his quickness. He doesn't want to be 190. Keep him about 180. Best asset 6'4" guy can have besides shooting.
Quickness.
Quickness. Speed and quickness. And they're both different, by the way.
And Clark.
He's got his touch tonight.
The Warriors shooting at 51%, limiting the Knicks to under 40% shooting. And unlike the second quarter, the Warriors defense has been pretty good the whole second half.
Yes, and that's what Steve Kerr is looking for. And as soon as we say that, well, sometimes you get overextended. And Galloway did the right thing.
McAdoo set that screen. Brandon Rush cutting back door, but knocked out of bounds. You know, Varejão's a very good passer.
Well, he's always looking to make the pass. The first thing he does when he gets the ball is look for any cutters. His vision goes right to the lane.
Well, the Chicago Bulls used to chant, "Ice those knees." That's when the veterans, Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, they wanted to blow teams out. They wanted to rest, and they'd ice those knees. Porzingis is like an eclipse there on the baseline at 7'3". You are not going to go up and under on him.
Twice now McAdoo has left his feet. He's got to come in there, come to the jump stop, do a pump fake, and then you're under control to throw it out. Or if you get a chance, you can convert.
Only 3/10 to shoot, so it's got to be batted. And it never hit iron. Amundsen was ready for that.
You'd love to play with a guy like Varejão because he loves to set screens. He plays the high post, so he leaves the lane open for you. You go back door. He's always looking to make a pass. Doesn't like to take a lot of shots.
Well,
I like to play with those guys.
You would love to play with him. How about every Cavalier after he left? He's so popular with his former teammates. He was popular with all the Warriors in about 2 days after being with the team. And Clark, quick hands, good steal. Whoops. And then the throwaway. Galloway and Grant. And Varejão will send it away. So Andy, 10 minutes played. Steve Kerr just managing those minutes. Not having Iguodala, not having Ezeli, not having Kevon Looney tonight. Porzingis, very rough game. And Amundsen with the foul and the rebound. Kristaps Porzingis, 1 of 10, but there are many better days ahead. If you watch the Knicks on League Pass, that youngster has done some amazing things this year. He can shoot threes, he can block shots. He's handled the bright lights of the big city very well. And I think he's one of the building blocks for the Knicks.
Oh, they know that. That number 4 pick wasn't popular when they heard it.
Well, on our road trip, we're going to see my favorite rookie because Karl Anthony Towns could play. And that was an excellent pick by Minnesota. He'll be the rookie of the year, and rightly so.
Porzingis has already accepted that. He's admitted that to the New York press.
I've been very pleased with 10 or so rookies this year. It's been a good draft in terms of productivity.
You know who I like, don't you? Not on a very good team for Phoenix, but
Devin Booker.
I like Devin Booker.
Oh, yeah. But you even have Jokic in Denver. Yeah. Jahlil Okafor had some skills. He was banged up a little bit.
And I also like the dunk champion we're going to see in Minnesota.
Zach LaVine is
I like him.
One of the most live-wire athletes we have in the league. Spates trying to pass that to McAdoo. Who would have thought that Minnesota with Andrew Wiggins may have gotten the better of the Kevin Love trade?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, trades take a long time to sort themselves out. Kevin Love's still a tremendous player. But it's not like Minnesota got chopped liver in that deal. Wiggins is pretty special in his own right.
Watch it here. Okay, get it back to a small man.
Karen Grant read that and deflected it off Barbosa. So a little sloppy. Been all Warriors all night long.
Hi, checking out the RAV4.
Stephen Curry, the big plays the Togo's way. You got to explain that banked three, first of all. Then, even though he's going to hit the barely quick release three, we've seen that. And a little dance move after the big plays the Togo's way for the MVP. His level of excellence is nothing new to the Knicks. Miami feels the wrath of the Curry threes, and so does the Knicks. 55% for his career. This is also the 35th time the Warriors have had 30 assists. That leads the league. Atlanta's second with 13 of those games.
I'm with you. I'm just laughing at Andrew Bogut, who came over at the timeout. And I informed him that I was going to talk to him after the game.
Right.
And so then he knew it was Raymond Ritter's fault, like volunteering him. So he took Raymond Ritter's spiral notebook, took it back to the bench. That's like the Bible for Raymond Ritter.
Spates missing there. Jimmy will be talking to Andrew Bogut.
So Raymond can't give us any more notes the rest of the night. Like the 30 assists that the Warriors got for the 35th time.
Yeah, but here's the problem as Galloway hits. Raymond Ritter had to bring up a very painful game, and it's the one that Jim talks about the most. If the Warriors had not lost in overtime to the Bulls, tonight would be the 70th straight home victory.
Wow. And they gave that game away.
It was a rare Curry turnover.
70 would have been?
70.
Okay. We know how long Raymond works. There's Raymond. That's it. Right there. Now,
those are all the things.
Raymond Ritter has now written down the 31st assist on the palm of his hand. That's how dedicated he is. 31 assists. It's on the left palm of his hand in ink.
I think Bogut is having a problem reading Raymond's notebook. One, due to the penmanship. Second, the poor grammar.
He probably, with all the stuff there, a lot of players, you don't think about all the things that are being accomplished. So he probably has no idea the Warriors have had 30 or more assists.
McAdoo hits a three.
Okay, enough of that.
All right. Everybody on the bench is going crazy.
Enjoy it while you can.
James Michael McAdoo hits a three. Get into the NBA record books for triples.
First one he's taken in his career.
That is correct.
Did not take any last year.
Didn't take one, never made one. Aaron Grant is making good use of garbage time here, as he's got 8 points. Greg and Gary are going to talk about just a door slammer of a Warrior win on Warrior Postgame Live, presented by Honda. Jim and Andrew Bogut are going to star in the notebook after the game. McAdoo hits the jumper. Vujicic is bounced around and fouled. So Dallas, Friday night. San Antonio, Saturday. Minnesota, Monday. The last long road trip of the year. And then the Warriors come home and deal with the Clippers. And so the schedule becomes very interesting, because that's Spurs' second meeting, and there's still 3 more Warriors San Antonio meetings to come. A final meeting with the Clippers. And a perfect homestand. The Warriors go 6-0 and 50 straight wins at Oracle in the regular season, a continuing NBA record. 121-85. Spades had 3 threes. McAdoo had his first career 3. The Warriors make 18 threes and 50 straight regular season home wins. 18th time Curry did not need to play in the fourth quarter. Steve Kerr saw it with defense as they hold the Knicks to under 40% shooting. The offense was spectacular with 32 assists, and the Warriors moved to 61-6 on the year. 121-85 the final. Greg and Gary getting ready for Warrior Post-Game Live. We'll talk to you from Dallas on Friday night. The Warriors are something else to watch. Warrior Post-Game Live coming at you right now.
They certainly are something else to watch, not only here in the Bay Area, but from coast to coast. They are America's team right now. This was an utter domination from start to finish. The Knicks were never in the game. The Warriors sweep the homestand, go 6-0, and they have won 50 in a row here at Oracle Arena. Last 18 last year and the first 32 this year. Andrew Bogut, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 post-game interview with Jim Barnett.
All right, thank you, Greg. Tough to hear out here. I guess everyone's excited. 50 straight wins at home, Andrew. 50 straight at home.
Pretty good. Hopefully keep it going. We're playing better basketball than we were, 3 or 4 games back. So we have a tough weekend coming up, and hopefully we can respond.
I know Steve Kerr has been talking to you about playing better defense lately. You had a good quarter against New Orleans. You had a good quarter of defense against Phoenix in that fourth quarter. But I thought you came out tonight, and you and Draymond Green basically shut down everything inside. Porzingis had, I don't know, maybe the worst night of his young career.
Yeah, me and Draymond, we're out there communicating and being active defensively. It just helps out Steph, Clay, and Harris on the perimeter so much. We're obviously missing one of our best defenders with Andre, but a lot of guys are stepping up. If we play that level of defense, we're going to win it all again. But it starts with our defense and obviously turning the ball over at the other end.
Tell us about the offense tonight, because there's something that you and Stephen Curry have going. To my count, you had 3 nice lobs. He's looking for you inside, and somehow you're getting open, and you're looking to convert.
Yeah, I mean, the lob's usually there. I'm pinning down for Klay Thompson, and I know that they're not going to, the big guys sometimes jump out a little early because they're so afraid of the three-point shot. So we end up getting some slips out of it. Some easy, it's just basketball IQ stuff. It's not really even a set that we put into practice. It's just a read. Hey, Steph, I'm going to slip this one. He puts it near the rim, I go get it.
Speaking of three-point shots, you hit that one against New Orleans. Was anybody worried that you were going to take one tonight? Because you could hear the, let me ask you, were you aware of the crowd when you got the ball several times in that second half for them, for you to shoot it?
I'm not the walk-on, so, I got to, it's okay for the crowd to get involved, but I feel like the walk-on, like they're throwing me to shoot threes, but it is what it is, man. I hit a 3 last game, big deal, move on. My role for this team will be to defend and play good defense, rebound, and if we're relying on me to score 30 and hit threes, we're in some trouble.
All right, it's nice to win all these games at home. You had a great homestand here, but now you go on the road. Tell us about this upcoming road trip and the importance of it, because with all the platitudes that you have, 61-6 now, you're still, well, now I guess with this win, you're 4 games up on San Antonio, but they just keep pace pretty well.
Yeah, no one's talking about them because of our record, so we got to be wary. They're very, very tough at home, just as tough as us. They haven't lost there yet. And let's not forget Dallas. They beat us there in Dallas. We were missing a few players, but they're playing a little bit better since the All-Star break, and they're going to be tough as well. So it's a tough weekend, tough trip. NBA did us no favors. We'll get some flyer miles out of this trip, that's for sure.
Let me ask you about this. You took Raymond Ritter, our vice president of public relations. You took his spiral notebook. Did you learn anything from the notebook? We saw you reading it on the bench.
That's his title. He's got a vice president of public relations.
Yeah, that's his title.
We just call him the PR guy. So yeah, he's got some messy writing, so I can't really understand what it is. I don't know if it's English or Australian.
Maybe if you'd known he was vice president, you wouldn't have taken it from him.
It's a hell of a tag, though. Gonna love it.
All right, Andrew. Hey, thanks. Great game. Good luck. We'll see you on the plane tomorrow.
Thanks. See ya.
All right, Greg. Throw it back to you.
All right, Varney and Bogues. I think that was the Wichita State playbook. He's getting ready for the Arizona Wildcats. So we're going to watch that game when they land tomorrow night. Raymond's the only guy rooting for the Shockers.
Right.
By the way, that's a shocker. Fitz was trying to teach Jim the inflection here, so I think I'm going to work on it now. 50 straight home wins! Saintly. I mean, the numbers are just mind-boggling, and they sweep a 6-game homestand for the first time in franchise history. Welcome in studio to Honda Warriors Post-Game Live. When they got home off this trip to L.A., the little Sunday afternoon game where they didn't play well, they had the 24 turnovers. They really tightened up their game. Not just winning all 6, but the last week and a half, you play, you have a film session on the off day, not practicing a whole lot. Come back. This team is really tightening up their game on both ends of the floor during the 6-game homestand.
Yeah, without a doubt. And obviously in the first half, Steph set the tone offensively. He was awesome again, but I'm really zoning in on the defense, watching how they're rotating as a 5-man unit. They're all interconnected. It isn't one guy stopping another guy. You know, he's going to influence him or encourage that guy with the ball to go in one direction, and then there's rotation and the V-back putting their bodies on the bigs inside. It's a defense that's very sound. They all know their responsibilities, and as Big Bogues just made note of, communication is a big part of a good NBA defense, and both Draymond and Bogues really talk well to the perimeter guys. Pick left, pick right. They're really talking to those guys, and they're ready to rotate. We call it pre-rotate. They envision the play coming, and as soon as it's in the air, they're already
going. A step ahead, not a step later on time. You're ahead.
And that's how sharp they are. And you brought up the point about the turnovers, and we had in the middle of the trip, the homestand, they really got it down low. They had back-to-back eights. I think Steve said he could live with 14.
13, Saintly. He wanted under 14. Guess how many they had tonight? A baker's dozen.
I know.
They had 13, so they're right on point. Another sub-40% shooting game by the opponents Monday against the Pelicans. Tonight, the Knicks just shot 40%. Kristaps Porzingis, 1 for 11 from the floor. They were just all over. Let's go courtside before they head off on the road tomorrow morning on the charter at 10 a.m. We get one more thought from Bob Fitzgerald and Jim Barnett. And I was working on the inflection, Fitz. You were teaching by Jim during the game. 50 in a row at home. Is that good enough?
Yeah,
50.
Pop, you know, play-by-play guys, you can't just 50 in a row at home.
Come on. Whoever said that.
You can't say that. I think Saint is onto something here, and I like Jim's conversation with Bogut because he's kind of a truth teller. One of their great defenders is out in Andre Iguodala. So now Draymond and Bogut have challenged the rest of the team. Let's play that defense. Right. Steve has put a numeric number on the turnovers. Hey, guys, no more than 14, 15. They have the 13 with 32 assists. And I think that Bogut gave you a little window into the Warriors. Oh, Dallas beat us the last time we were there. First thing he mentioned to you.
Yeah, he's a truth teller when you get him talking.
Yes.
Finally, you got to get past it a little bit. But, yeah, I thought it was very revealing there. To me, the game started, and you've heard me speak about this. At the outset, you have to make your opponent uncomfortable at his offensive end. That's something they didn't do against the Lakers, and they lost that game. But Draymond Green came out on Porzingis, and he blocked his first shot.
Right.
So Porzingis knew that he was in for it all night long, and he just made him uncomfortable, and he just never really got off it. 1 of 11 shooting. To me, that kind of set the tone, and it also inspired Draymond Green. And then the offense comes in because they are interconnected. When they're defending like that, they allowed 35% shooting the first quarter, 19 points. They limited New York to, and they get 31 at the other end. And it made for it, quite frankly, this was an easy game the Warriors controlled from start to finish.
Yeah, it's exactly what you'd want going on this trip because Dallas, San Antonio, Minnesota, the guys are looking forward to this. And obviously Dallas and then that Titanic matchup Saturday night against San Antonio. So, Pop, here we go. Here's the final exam. Jim, how many games in a row at home?
50.
Come on.
Okay.
He's got to work on that. When you guys come off that trip for the Clippers on Wednesday, I want it to be even better as they go for 51. won!
I got 'em on
whoever
the whole
says
road
such
trip.
a thing. They won 50 in a row. It's not De La Salle High School here. All right, guys, fly well. We'll see you 4:30 on Friday. Our BMW turning point was Steph Curry driving to the gym tonight, saying, and then he went off. In the first half, he went for 21 points on 8 of 12 shooting, 5 of 9 beyond the line. And the exquisite shot making we are seeing from this young man every night takes your breath away.
Well, what I want to share with you, the shot making was terrific, but he had a lot of space because you had subpar defensive guards on the floor for the New York Knicks. And when you do that with him, if you don't pressure the ball handler, which they didn't, look at the hands down, that means he has clear vision to Bogues off that back pick. And, you know, then he's dancing with it out there, and they run that drag series, and he's unbelievable.
You almost went hand down, man down, didn't you?
Well, I didn't know.
You almost went there.
There it is again.
All right, another one for Bogut.
Another one.
This is the second half. Played only the third quarter, scored 13 points on 4 of 8 and 2 of 4 on the 3 line. We're all waiting for the shot of shots.
There it is.
No, it's not coming yet. No, that's a straight on. It's this one. Is it going to be this one?
The banker was pretty good.
One. He called this. I'm telling you, he went to the bench. Bruce Frazier said, did you bank that? He did, because he knew he had to get it on top of the box, the right corner of the box, and then he makes that. But the shot making, whether it's a scoop on the baseline, I'm telling you, St. Lee, he did this on purpose because he knew he had to avoid the shot block here, and he puts it off the right corner above the box. Who does that? Seriously. Seriously. We've seen some great shooters. And the exquisite
look at that.
His hand-eye and his overall skill level is just a whole different level than we've seen in the sport. And even watching this sport forever, the skill level he plays with is amazing to watch.
It truly is. And, you know, he's just what we call a count ahead of everybody else on the floor. He can see things happening much more quickly than the other 9 guys on the floor, and he can create space for himself off the dribble like nobody we've ever seen in the NBA.
Just amazing. He went for 34. Clay went for 19 tonight. Draymond only had 6, but
his line is good.
His line is good. 11 rebounds, 10 assists, but the defense, we got to go back to Monday night because he blocks the shot of the unibrow. Right? And the unibrow he's a big man. 6'11" long, and now he's going to get the unicorn. He gets the unibrow on Monday, the unicorn tonight, St. Lee. He blocks them both. One guy's 6'11" with long arms, one guy's 7'3", and then it never let up. Whether it was Draymond or Bogut, Kristaps Porzingis is going to remember his first ever game at Oracle Arena, and it's a nightmare.
Well, we're going to see a great defensive forward Saturday night in Kawhi Leonard. But if you look at the power forward position, there's nobody that defends better than Draymond. And he's got to be in your discussion for top 5 in the league as far as defense goes. And he definitely will make the all-defensive team. Look at that play. That's tailor-made 2-on-1 defense.
Even more buckets.
Fake it the guy and then recover. Unbelievable. He should have made that long one.
Right. Porzingis made 1 shot.
He had a tough
night. He missed 10. And Draymond filled in every category of the box score. Again, the points total were modest, but he had 11 rebounds. And last time we saw the Knicks on January 31st, he went with a triple-double. He got a double-double tonight and didn't have the points, lately. 11 rebounds and 10 assists from your point forward.
Love when they play inside out. They throw it into him, and he kicks it back out to Steph. But he does it in so many different ways. Look at this one off the bounce. Then he's in the post. Then he's in a stationary high position. So he's got the whole package. And look at that outlet pass. Absolutely gorgeous to Steph.
Incredible. All they do is win. 61-6 on the year. They are 32-0 at home. Are you starting to believe now that 41-0 at home, the entirety of the regular season, now we're down to 9. We're going to count them off. It's like New Year's Eve. We're counting them down. Now we're into single digits. Can they go 41-0 at home this year?
In the beginning, you just whispered in my ear, thought of that. Yeah. Now you're telling me it's going to be 41.
You know I don't whisper. I don't whisper. The Warriors have won 50 in a row at home. Don't tell anybody. 50 in a row at home. just tightly. Come on. The Knicks didn't even show. You know what tonight was like? Was like
Rough
watching
night.
March Madness, and it was a 1 seed against the 16 seed tonight.
Oh, jeez.
Incredible stuff. All right, we'll hear from Steve Kerr, who will be slightly more diplomatic than we are because we're gushing. Can I see that bank shot one more time, Saley? Come on.
Here it comes. Little fake.
He's going above the right box. The square above the backboard right there. You don't want to play him and horse, do you? You got no chance.
Warriors post-game.
Feldy Bernardo, we'll see you at 10:15. The Warriors, they beat Memphis by 50 this year, so I'm not going to say it's their best game of the year, but man, they won by 36. They outscored the Knicks in every single quarter. Every single Warrior that played was a plus. Every single Knick was a minus. There wasn't one moment the Knicks controlled any aspect of this game. It was all Warriors from start to the final horn. It was very impressive to watch. Let's see if the head coach of the Warriors was equally impressed. Let's get reaction right now from Steve Kerr.
The last couple of games.
Tonight was our best effort in a while. You know, we had a good homestand, 6-0, but I felt like we were kind of either or. You know, our goals are take care of the ball and defend. That's kind of our renewed focus. We had gotten away from both of those things, and I think tonight we probably put that together better than we have in a long time. Our ball movement and our cutting was fantastic. Our defensive activity was really good. And I think we only had 8 or 9 turnovers until the last few minutes. And I was a little disappointed. That's the only thing I was disappointed in was that last group turned it over too many times down the stretch. But all in all, really, really good effort.
You talked earlier before the game about how this year it's a little more tiresome, just kind of coming back after last year. Is a game like tonight, you know, late in the season, does that help with that regard?
Does what help?
You know, having a game like the starters sitting out the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, you always want to have these games if you can, where everybody plays, you know, everybody scores, everybody goes home feeling good, and but particularly tonight with us, you know, heading out 3 games in 4 nights, coming up on the road, it was great to keep everybody other than Harrison under 30 minutes, and he was at 31. So that was exactly the kind of night we needed, and now hopefully we can carry this momentum onto the road with us.
Steve, I think we asked you about your bench a good number of nights, but so many different guys are doing little things and contributing and having some injured players. What does that mean to you to have so many guys doing that?
Well, it's, you know, we talk about it all the time. It's really the strength of our team is our depth and the number of guys we have who we can play and be confident in. And it helps, obviously, when the starters get off to such a good start. They played a great first quarter, and then you know, Mo and LB came in and kept things rolling. Sean, I thought Brandon had a nice game, and Anderson always gives us that energy and hustle. So everybody really contributed well, and the bench is something we take pride in.
We talked at the start of this week about the opposition that Draymond Green has at his position this week, and you said he'll cherish it.
Yeah.
What do you think that how he's played against Anthony Davis first and then Porzingis tonight?
And Carmelo, you know, he spent a lot of time on Melo. I thought Draymond was brilliant. Great night for him. You know, he was passing the ball, rebounding, defending, taking care of the ball. You know, he only had 1 turnover and 10 assists. And, you know, as a power forward, really a point power forward for us now. That's what he's become. But just a fantastic player. You know, I always talk about how smart Andre is and Sean, and you can throw Draymond into that mix. He just he sees the game. He knows what's happening at all times, and tonight was a fantastic game for him.
Steve, space with 3 threes tonight and a lot of confidence lately. Seems like he's shooting them not only in garbage time anymore. How much does that open up the offense for you guys?
It's great. You know, he's always been a great shooter, but for whatever reason, his range has always been kind of out to about 22 feet. And, you know, we wanted him to shoot more threes last year. He never really got comfortable with it. And this year he just feels more comfortable, more confident from that range. And I want anytime have given it to McAdoo for his, what I think is his first career three-pointer. Was it? Is that his first three?
But where does this, I mean, just another accomplishment, or is there something special about 50 consecutive home wins?
I didn't mention it. It's, you know, it's funny. I heard Bogues the other night after our 60th win. Somebody asked him, and he said, I didn't even know we had 60 wins. And neither did I, actually. And I wouldn't have known we had 50 straight home wins unless you had just said that. I don't think any of us are really thinking about numbers or focusing on anything other than the game itself and how can we get better. And that's it's one of the reasons I think we're having such a good season. We're just we're not paying any attention to anything that doesn't matter.
I remember at the beginning of last season that you simplified the offense early after some turnovers and stuff like that. I'm wondering, what did you simplify? What were you guys trying too much of at the beginning?
We haven't really simplified things. It's more just a question of focus and making simple passes. I think, in my mind, when we were getting in trouble with turnovers the last few weeks, it was from taking risks.
I was talking last season, beginning of last season.
Yeah, last season.
All right, coming up on Honda Warriors Postgame Live, we'll get inside the Warrior locker room. You'll hear from Maurice Spates. I think you know him as Mo Buckets. And also, St. Lee, we're going to have do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You were late. You were late. You're fine for that. You were a beat late. You're not rotating, St. Lee. All right, time for the highlight zone. New York Knickerbockers at Oracle for the only time all year. Steph did not play well against them. January 13th, just had 13 points. Stanley, who will make up for that? He makes a long shot every game and a long lob now. His half-court lobbing is becoming a gamely occurrence, or twice a game, to Andrew Bogut going back door.
Go out in the driveway and try and make that pass to your brother.
My driveway's not that long.
Well, you're right. That's a long one, but you know, here's a concept.
Driveways.
You run at the shooter, which he did, and you take off.
Yep.
And then you look for the long pass from your teammate. That was perfectly executed by Draymond and
Leak
Steph.
out early.
Well, here we go. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Hello.
If you're shooting that from the driveway, you got to wrap it around the gutter to get it in. How did he put it off the top of the box on the right corner there? Just expert shot making. And Bruce Frazier asked him,
Did you do that on purpose?
And he said, of course I did. Warriors are 61-6. They are 32-0 at home, and they have a 4-game lead on the San Antonio Spurs. And, of course, the road trip, we'll get to the road trip coming up. It'll start Friday in Dallas, but the game we're looking forward to is Saturday night. Warriors beat them by 30 on January 25th, St. Lee, but the Spurs are going to be sky high, and they're not going to rest anybody. Duncan's going to play. They're going to rest the night before. They do play tomorrow night, so it's on for Saturday night. Two best teams in pro basketball by far.
You know, we love Steph and Clay and Draymond, what they're doing as the key guys. Let me share with you that Kawhi Leonard is in that company. This guy's having a fabulous year, and Aldridge has come down from Portland. He's very comfortable now, gives him a presence on the low block. You still have Duncan, and you still have Parker back there, Green with Ginobili coming off the bench. Very deep team, so you got to be up to snuff competing against their bench, and their inside is really strong. So you got to control your board to get in the open floor, create the tempo which you want on the road.
And the Spurs have a couple of sweet shooting bigs coming off the bench, Boris Diaw and David West, but the Warriors may have the sweetest shooting big in all of basketball. And St. Lee, we wanted them to shoot threes, but now he's running the floor and scoring there. But he's spotting up for his three-point shot. Look at him here. He is looking for the three-point shot in the half-court offense.
That is a major adjustment in his game. Even right there, you normally would, if the guy with the ball refuses your pick, you pop toward the open space, which would have been the elbow. No, he went backwards for it. Look at this. The ball goes in the post to Steph, and he kicks it out to Mo Buckets for the three.
He made 4 baskets tonight, 1 2-pointer and 1 3-pointer. So I want Mo threes. You may want more buckets. I want Mo threes from Mo Buckets, but we want Mo right now.
Oh, it's great. It's special when I'm wide open. I'm going to shoot it every time I get an opportunity to. So it's good to have a green light from the three-point line when you open.
He said he talked to you actually before last season about shooting more from threes, and you weren't comfortable. Why are you now comfortable?
Just put a lot of work in. Just during All-Star break, I started off shooting a lot of them, and I knew coming back doing practice, I'm going to have to get a lot of them up. So it's all about repetition and getting them up. So I'm getting comfortable each day, each game.
You look like you're having fun, too, feeding off the crowd as well.
Yeah, I'm always having fun, especially playing in front of these great fans. You got to come out every day and give them a show and get hype for them.
Now, Draymond Green was talking a little trash to you after his baseball pass to Steph. What did he say?
It was like, yeah, I forgot. He was just like, yeah, Mo. Mine a little bit. It was a good pass, though. I ain't going to lie. That's why I had to look away as soon as you looked at me.
You had to make sure you knew he could do it, too, right?
Yeah, I've seen him do it before.
What have you guys done during this stretch to take such better care of the ball after a couple tough games with turnovers?
Well, the coach has been scratching it. Make sure we get ready for the playoffs, so we got to prepare ourselves for these last, I don't know how much games we got left, but get ready for the playoffs. So we've been doing that, and we've been doing good at it.
You could have.
These kind of games help where everybody gets involved, starters sit most of the board. How much of those just kind of help get it?
That's going to help a lot, especially in the playoffs. We're a deep team. Everybody come in and contribute some kind of way. So it's good to give everybody playing time. Everybody's on the scoreboard, so it was good.
It could have been really easy to look ahead to the big road trip you have coming up in those games. How big was this game from a focus standpoint to beat a Knicks team the way you should?
It was a big focus game. It's our last game at home for a minute, so we know we had to make it a good game for these fans, so they ain't going to see us for a minute. Go on the road in Dallas and San Antonio and Minnesota.
50 straight wins at home. It's never been done in the 4 major professional sports. What does that mean to you guys?
History. We keep making history. Everything we doing from now on is history. So it's a blessing to be on this team. It's a blessing to play for this organization and play in front of these fans every night.
What do you think of McAdoo's three? That was his first NBA attempt.
Yeah, today in shooting around, he was shooting it. So it was like, Max, shoot one in the game, and he finally got one in the game. So it was good. When I seen him over there, I had to throw it to him.
How much pride do you guys take, coming off the bench and really contributing in a lot of different ways and taking the pressure off?
Yeah, we really take that seriously, especially the game going a little slow. We know we can come in and get our team a spark against the other second unit. So we make sure we come in there, we're going to get a lot of energy, play defense, and make some shots.
All right, Mo's going to go shower, clean up, and they're meeting at the airport tomorrow, 10 a.m. charter to the Metroplex of Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio on Saturday. We'll get you ready. Also, Minnesota on Monday on the Warriors roadie against Dirk on Honda Warriors Postgame Live. Our Honda drive ahead. We're going to see the Dallas Mavericks again. They're 34-34 overall on the year. Warriors have beaten them 8 of the last 9. The one exception was December the 30th when they lost to them 114-91. Steph did not play. That was in Dallas. They did come back and beat them on January 27th. You know that no team in the history of the NBA has ever gone through a season without enduring back-to-back losses, Saintly, but the Warriors did lose last time they were there. No team in NBA history has avoided losing to at least one team more than once. So Dallas has beaten them once. You don't want to lose to them a second time. And this is also the first part of a Texas back-to-back, and you got San Antonio on the back end. So you want to beat them, try to save your legs, and have something for Saturday night.
Well, with a couple days, they're playing well. They beat Charlotte in Charlotte. They just got beat by Cleveland, played very well. And Dirk Nowitzki's really playing at a high level, and the guy that they've counted on to elevate his game, Chandler Parsons, is really starting to play very well. And Rick Carlisle's creative. Now he's gone to the 3-guard small trio, and they've been extremely effective for them. The question for me with this club is the defensive end of the floor. They can match you offensively when you play them in the American Airlines Arena.
All right, it's already 10:15, Stanley. You and I got to be up at 9 a.m. to watch college basketball game all day tomorrow on St. Patty's Day. So we got to get it over to Feldy and Farid. And by the way, Feldy and Farid are the headliners of Sportsnet Central, but a guy named Steph Curry is also going to make an appearance. So we may want to mention that.
So we're not enough. enough, is what you're
We're
saying.
not, Steph may hold the audience.
Fellas, he's a unanimous MVP.
Feldy, Fareed, and Curry coming up.
Papa Bear, what are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything, Davey.
Okay.
I'm trying to say anything.
Curry also knows
makes a good
himself.
point. He makes
Curry
a good
also knows it.
point.
So, yeah, we will hear from Steph Curry coming up, but that's not all we have. We're talking football. We're talking some baseball.
You know what? I just thought of this. Steph Curry, undefeated as a 28-year-old.
That's true.
Right? Has anyone else broken that down?
2-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll go deep.
I think I broke that story. Sportsnet
For a half hour, we'll talk about that.